play the DLC actually, huh?
Oh
Before
yeah.
it was canceled. Oh shoot! You hit live? What?
See, I didn't say anything. Usually I say something.
That threw me off guard so much. That caught me
It's a
off
joke,
guard.
guys. It's a joke.
No, it's not.
Oh my gosh. Microphone check. Microphone check. Check 2. No, 1, 2.
I really did throw James off.
Oh my gosh. We were talking and I was like, oh shoot, it's like 4:31.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta start.
We gotta do it live now.
We gotta go
No
live.
countdown.
So I was like, no countdown. And they were like, yo,
Perfect.
Retro just hit me with this. So James, I heard you played the DLC before it got canceled. I was like, wait, what?
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Everybody,
Yeah,
do we all sound good?
Yeah.
Loud, levels
and
wise.
clear.
Sometimes I'm too quiet. Sometimes I'm too loud.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
to let the
letting-
early folks inside, what I said was we're gonna pretend like we don't know that we're live. Right
Yes,
when
please.
James hits go live.
Yes, please do not run with the narrative at all. It is not true at all. Oh my gosh. Check. No Twitch today, Cindy. We're using StreamYard, and I don't know if I can do both on StreamYard.
We all sound wonderful.
Okay, we all sound wonderful.
Nice.
Okay, good. All right, let me let
you.
everybody know we're live. Let me do all the stuff that we're supposed to do as content creators. Blah 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 blah. Oh my gosh! And then I'll get into the intro. Give me 1 second. This has been in the making for, I feel like, for like 2 months, bro.
Talking about DLC. Have you guys seen the new posters?
Yeah.
One
For
thing,
the Switch 2.
I've been
that they're
trying-
they're
using.
so
Yes.
cool, but
I've been
they're
trying
now
to
on
get it.
Steam.
Yes.
They're on Steam. They are now. It's also in the loading screen on PS5.
It's
So
on the banner on their social media as well. They updated.
there you
banner
go.
too
Not
with
on the
it.
website yet,
No,
some-
no.
but they're actually like the posters as if for the game. My question is this how the poster is going to look for the new games overall? And my question, another question is,
That's a good
was that
question.
supposed to be for the definitive edition originally?
That's
And now
what
they
somebody
just
else was
have
saying.
it, so might as well just use it for
Yeah.
socials.
Yeah, that's what I had a couple of people bring up when they saw the artwork last
Mhm.
week when they announced the Switch 2 version of Hogwarts Legacy. And so that's, I mean, what do you think? I think honestly it's just for the Switch 2 possibly.
Mm,
think it
I
might
mean,
be
why
for
would you
the-
like? I don't know. Like, if the game didn't change, why would you make a brand new poster? Because already people, like 35 million people, remember this poster,
Right.
and then you change it.
Right.
So like, it looks great, it looks beautiful, but to me, like when I look at it, like there's something new about it, but like no, it's not.
I know.
Yeah, unless we can do Lumos on like birds, I mean on our creatures stuff.
We
now.
can do
I mean, I wish-
Revelio.
Yeah.
I wish one day, I don't know what it would take, but for them to just like release all the artwork, like, because they had like 10 versions of that they didn't release.
Yes.
We as creators would just love to have thumbnail.
There's
art.
a bunch. There was a bunch on their wall in Salt Lake where it looked like they're different positions of the castle.
Right.
If you remember that. So
I
I feel
do.
like there were, and even this one, the castle itself, it looks like from the concept art image,
Early.
not like
early.
early. Yeah. It doesn't look like, so for example, the original poster has the castle as you see it in the game.
Right.
But in this one, it's more like the concept arty.
Yep. Agreed. It's very stylistic compared to the original
I
cover
know.
art.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Agreed, Retro. Like I'm all for it. Let me see if I can bring it up right there.
I know,
for those
Ben,
who
it's
guys
making me
can
want to
join.
pull it back up. I just
know.
saved it earlier today, actually.
I have it here. Do you want me to send it on Discord?
I have it right
Okay.
here. Just let me see, share screen.
And there's even an animated version of like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, wait, Ben. When did they? That little winter one. When did that one? Was
2
that
years
one
ago?
released with something
or a year
special?
ago. It was for Christmas. I think it was one of the holiday sales.
Yes,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I love that one too.
So do I. The
So there's
snow with the Merlin robe.
Yeah,
it's my favorite. But this one, it also has Merlin robe. Have you seen the deluxe edition version?
Deluxe edition.
He rides Thestral instead of.
Wait, what?
Yep.
No.
no, I don't think I've seen that either.
Yup.
What? Yes.
Do you want it?
Send
Discord?
Yeah, send that to me. I didn't even know they had that joint.
Up until today, I didn't either. But yes, they have two versions.
Where was that one shared?
Just Google. I just
Google.
Oh, so it's not. It didn't appear in one of their like.
No, well, maybe it did, but Google got it from somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
I think it was like one of the stores, like everywhere where they sell, like it's Steam, Best Buy, or something. So I think for the deluxe edition they have that. I just sent it to you, James.
All right, I'm going to DMs.
And
oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, this is new, bro. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna bring it up.
Yep.
Oh my god. I want this.
And it's like the perfect positioning for the thumbnails. You just get rid of the it's just so perfect.
You can do text and everything. All right, hold on. Let's bring this up. Let me see. Stop screen.
Send it to me too, Ben, or am I in the group where you sent it?
I just DM'd him, but
okay.
Yeah, I can.
Let me see.
If this will work.
There's also the vertical
right there. Yes, I know.
This is so freaking good.
I know.
Yeah, maybe that. I think you could be right now. Maybe that was going to be the definitive. But why would you have a deluxe one though?
Like that's the thing. They had the both. If they do have the deluxe and the regular one, that means it was supposed to come with the definitive edition, and they just decided to, I guess, reuse it. Or I don't want to go there, and I'm tired of it. But what if they lied to us? They lied on purpose to destroy our hearts, but they're actually gonna still do the definitive edition.
They're trying to figure out who the leaker is.
Yeah.
Jason Schreier.
I think this is for. I think this is just what it switched to. It's gotta be.
But it's on Steam.
Oh, so I saw the artwork on the Hogwarts Legacy profile change to this, but are you saying the cover arts for the deluxe and for the regular editions have been replaced with these images? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, looks like.
Wow.
And see, even on PS5, sorry, even on PS5, the previous one, not the deluxe version, when you load the game, when you just hover over it, sorry.
Yeah.
It has the new image.
What?
Without the flying dude.
All right, I'm about to go my PlayStation out. Right? What in the ham sandwich?
Yeah, but I think it needs an update because there's a little glitch about that image, but whatever.
Now it has me curious if Switch 2 is going to have a deluxe. Because they haven't said yet, have they? If it's going to be like an upgrade pack for Switch 1 owners, or if it's going to be a standalone.
No, they haven't. Like, they haven't.
You would think you would just include all the deluxe stuff, but I don't know. Maybe they're doing separate.
No, I think it will be in the same way. Like you got regular and deluxe editions. Hold on.
It's on. Yeah, they changed the images on PlayStation app too with it.
I mean, it's a little refresher, I guess, but
I don't know. Still coinciding with because it wouldn't make sense unless the deluxe edition doesn't make sense with a DLC or extended expansion or whatever.
Well, if we trace back what Schreier said about the cancellation and that there was supposed to be a free version of the definitive edition, and then there would be the DLC. So I think that definitive edition would affect both the regular version and the deluxe editions as well.
Right.
So it's for the new people who are buying the game. They're buying already the definitive edition with the definitive edition already with. So that makes sense to have a different poster for different versions. And at this point, it's just a stylistic choice, I guess.
So you're saying, okay. So I'm trying to pick up what you're putting down. You're saying that if the DLC and Definitive Edition was a thing, this would have been the artwork for those who were getting maybe the regular version of the game with the DLC or the Definitive Edition, and those who were getting the deluxe edition of the game with the with the DLC, they would get this cover art. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That I might be able to buy that. I think
because you know, like it's a new version, so it's like
right.
Like they would like if we already have Hogwarts Legacy, right? You would just download the definitive. It would be an update, a free update with the definitive edition.
Right.
That's what I picked up. The definitive edition was the free thing that you get with new features, and then separately there was a paid DLC
that like we would be able to buy
yeah. So and that makes sense in terms of marketing, because you do need, if it's a definitive edition, you need to somehow telegraph that with your with the poster, etc.
For sure. Wow. Well, we were going to get into the DLC in the middle of this, but we already started off. We haven't even done our intro yet.
See, your chat doesn't know what's going on.
I know.
You're normally like segment, very clear segments.
But this is, I told Ben when we were talking earlier before we got everybody on, I was like, I like doing these because I have everything pinned down and outlined and stuff. But then, like, if chat brings up a topic,
all over the place.
When talking with you guys or whatever, then I'm like, yo, I don't care. Like, let's go this down this rabbit hole and see what happens. So, oh my gosh. But this your boy James over XpectoGO. Bring you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content today. I'm joined by the crew for this special Wizarding Wednesday, Benjamin Snow, and of course, Retro Rakator. And we're going to be talking about all things Hogwarts Legacy, from the DLC, which we were going to continue talking about, but also the new mods and the Curse Forge Goblet of Mod promo with the voting ending tomorrow for the community thing, which we'll highlight more of. And one I'm very excited about, this online multiplayer RPG. I've been dying to hear their thoughts on this topic, and so I'm excited to talk with them about it. But let me introduce everybody, say hi to everybody. Ben, say hi to the chat and everybody.
Hey guys, how's it going? You all know me. If the first time meeting me, I'm Ben Snow. I make Hogwarts Legacy content, and I like playing all kinds of different games. We go down the rabbit hole, just like doing the live streams, but in the video format. And I'm afraid of heights, as apparent in my new walkthroughs.
Retro, yes indeed. Just a dad who loves games and the stories they tell. Loving all things Potter, Hogwarts Legacy. Can't get enough of these epic universe.
Oh my
gosh,
man!
I'm so dying to go. I want to go so bad.
So good.
Can't
get enough of that. And then also hunting platinum trophies. I played Minecraft for the first time like 2 weeks ago. Got the platinum in it. I'm like, what, 10, 15 years too late on this? But that game, man, I was not expecting. Have you ever played it, Ben? Because I know you've done some Minecraft.
No, briefly. My siblings do play it quite a lot, and they're pros in that. Wait, you're talking? Yeah, they're happy about the movie.
So would you believe me if I said that Minecraft, there are parts of it that remind me of the Souls games?
Okay. I think I can get that, because when I play it is a kind of tough thing. But
right, James? I had no idea. I don't want to take us off on this tangent, but just, yes, Minecraft... It can be tough. More punishing in some ways than Souls. On survival, you go out, you die. In Dark Souls, I keep all my gear. I just lose my souls. In this, you lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You have 5 minutes to get back to get all your stuff. All the stuff you painstakingly worked. Yeah. Don't get me started.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Wow.
I'm like, kids have been playing this game for 10 years.
This is a kid's game, and they're like,
it is.
I'm all for this. Sign me up. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Crazy, man.
That is crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. And of course, chat for being here. Be sure to spam the like button. Really helps the video. And we'll be doing questions and comments and stuff from you guys. So according to the topics we'll be discussing, we love to hear you guys' thoughts. And I like reading off what you guys are sharing in between hearing our host thoughts on said topic. But feel free, have fun, hang out, get some snacks, and you get to listen to some Potterheads jam out to some crazy news is going on. Quickly, this is now on the docket. The Epic Universe. Just our friend Peter, who we met in LA. Some of you guys for the first time. I met him at Wizards Unite thing, like back in 2019. That's when we like started hanging out. But he has like an hour and like 20-minute like tour of Epic Universe. Go check it out. Tell him XpectoGO, Ben, and Retro sent you. But just overall thoughts from the images and stuff. People have been tagging me on Twitter. But just initially, Ben, your thoughts on just everything you've seen so far.
I love it. Having a chance to walk inside the Ministry of Magic, that is just insane. Like
that's the too. Oh
like that is the best thing for me, because when I first saw it in Order of the Phoenix, and it's like, oh my God, this is such a cool place. And it seems like there's so much to it. So yeah, I can't wait to go there. I've never been to Orlando. So when I go there, I'll have to spend like a few days doing the main park, then the Epic Universe. So excited.
Oh man.
Hey, if there are any sponsorship,
right? Holla at your boy, man.
I'll go. We can go together. Hey, you know,
we'd love to go test it out.
Yeah.
Hey,
test those rides.
Test those Collecting Wizard, who I met for the first time also in LA. He actually, I told you this last time. He works at Epic Universe on the ride tech for the Ministry ride. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what his role is. Yeah, I think he's like one of the people that you might see when you're, getting on the ride.
Hey.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Holla at your boy.
Come on. Pull out your one.
Yeah.
Let's do some.
Seriously. Retro, your thoughts just initially.
Oh, dude, my wife and I have a trip booked already. Well,
already? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. This year we're going because she didn't get to go last year. She had a surprise surgery, appendicitis. So she didn't get to go, but she's like, I'm going. We're going this year, and we're just going to make it so it's a little bit after the new park opens.
Yeah, give it some time to die down.
Yeah, I can't wait, man.
Also, the How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
And Nintendo World. Like
Nintendo World.
Yes. I've been to Nintendo World here.
You got the one out there. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but they're so different. But because in general, I think Universal Hollywood Park is a bit smaller.
A lot smaller.
When it comes to it's still a huge park.
Yeah.
But even when it comes to Hogwarts, it is way bigger.
Yeah. Definitely. It's even though obviously same Universal, but the attractions and stuff is just way different. And just with scale and everything. So it looks like they're starting everything there. And I think Becky even let us know that they're making one across the pond, a Universal in 2031.
Just announced.
Just announced. So
which it hasn't confirmed. There's no Harry Potter stuff yet. I'm like, come on.
You have to. You have to. You can't just make Universal in the home of Harry Potter and not have anything to do with Disney World. Granted, they have WB store, but still.
Right.
Talking about stores, there's now going to be a new Harry Potter store in Chicago.
Yeah. I love the promotion for those two. We highlighted some of those. I think. Hold on.
Have you guys seen the new merch from Epic Universe at the Ministry?
Yes.
I'm getting the hat. There's a hat that says "or" on it. It's just black and then in white lettering.
Let me see.
I'll see if I can find the picture of it. It's
Epic
it was
Universe
a while back when they posted it. Yeah, just like Epic Universe merch promo shot, and they show you some things from like all the new worlds.
So the pot this one right here, I was just getting tagged in.
Oh yeah, because they have the new Ilvermorny robes. I saw that.
So like, here's some of the stuff we were tagged in on.
Yeah. Okay.
Stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys are so cool. I seen once audition for the ones here. I wanted to apply, but then I don't have that good of a British accent, which is required.
Yeah.
But if they open the Epic Universe or Ilvermorny here in the United States, hell, I'll definitely go for the edition there.
But the Ilvermorny robes I need, bro. And again, this is from Potter Collector. Shout out to Peter. They just
so
took some
pretty
screenshots, but I need. Do you guys know your Ilvermorny house? Chat. Do you guys know your Ilvermorny house? Have you taken that quiz yet?
I don't even know what houses there are,
bro. Yo,
what? I'm pretty sure I'm the Thunderbird.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's Thunderbird. Okay, I remember that. I will be probably there because I like Thunderbird.
In the private chat, I just linked you to the so you can see the merch.
Oh, okay. Let me check that
or
out
James,
right
quick. If you want to pull it up too.
Okay.
Private chat. Okay.
It's like on the StreamYard private chat.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
There's one where you can see all the comments, and then one that's like private chat.
Perfect.
But yeah, of course it's ministry. Some of it's ministry themed.
Yeah.
Also the robes. There's a new version from Fantastic Beasts films.
Yes.
And I gotta say they have. Oh, never mind.
Let me remove this.
But the hat that says
the oar.
I'm definitely getting that.
That's cool.
Maybe that jacket too. The ministry.
I mean, that's
jacket.
right. That's you right there, honestly.
I know that hat's so good.
Here it is. So here's some of the stuff.
I like the Ministry of Magic hat, the white one.
So there's the Aura hat. Retro said he's getting that jacket though, bro. Oh my gosh.
Go to the next one. So the banner. Look at the banner and the hat and the hat.
Oh, clean, bro. And that's the thing, bro. Like, it's so funny. I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but like WB saying they were surprised by the success of Hogwarts Legacy. And I'm just listening to ourselves in chat, like, react to all of this stuff. And we're like, I'm going to buy this.
And look at that reply. Someone said, we need the Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, Merge. Yes. Like,
I made one.
Yes, you did. You did, bro.
Come on, pick a pack.
Yes.
Well, no, I think there was someone was making them, but like not officially. But I know, Chandler has it.
Yeah, they were
Miranda Lorian.
They got.
Oh my God! Yes,
for Avalanche employees.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
No,
if they sold those, they would.
It would sell
fan club
like
or put something different. Yeah,
it would sell so fast, bro. But yeah, I love and they got these robes are blue. I just noticed.
Can you pull up if they already have the Ilvermorny robes here?
Peter may have. Did Peter post the picture?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you just showed it. Never mind.
Yeah, I showed it earlier. I'll show it again because I love the red, bro.
It's like somewhere on display.
No, I don't have anything on display. I just have the ones they have here.
Right now, I'm in that state of like trying to balance spoilers versus being surprised when I go. Like, I think I'm to the point where I've seen enough. I don't want to see any more. I saw a little video of the Flu Flames, how it's going to look, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to see any more.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But as you can tell, chat, we are very excited about Epic Universe, and one of us is already scheduled to be going with the white pickup. I'm trying to make my way out there beginning of next year because we have a friend who's like I don't know if a travel agent, but they kind of like help like book stuff. So here's where you can get a good deal on resorts and everything. And they said between like December and February, if you're trying to go to like any of the theme parks and not have it be too chaotic, it's like that's the best time. Obviously, school and kids is a thing, but like if you can take a week off or whatever, or at least a 4-day weekend, try to go down there during that time. So that's what we're going to try to do, hopefully. So, but I'm excited. Speaking of excitement, we are going to get into the mods for Hogwarts Legacy. Let me see right quick.
Let's go.
Let me catch up with chat. Hogwarts Legacy house road logos are so much better than the movie version, says Becky. Agreed. I have a House Fanatic robes and the Dalian robe. Oh, the Nebula. I know they were selling those on Amazon, so that's awesome. I'm liking the house crest on the robe. Says Moon Lily. Hogwarts Legacy
I'll
robes
be
are
right back, guys.
gorgeous. You're good.
Just real quick.
And the Ravenclaw color mascots are correct on the game. Yeah, everybody
they got that right.
Everybody just wants the like book accurate, color accurate logos, particularly with Ravenclaw. So yeah, and be sure to spam the like button. Thank you, Steph. I need to take out a second mortgage to travel and visit. All right, says Becky. Oh my gosh, I like the Ministry of Magic purple shirt. Yeah, so I saw a lot of purple with the merch. Is that associated with Ministry of Magic? That's something I don't like remember.
I think so.
Really?
That's what they're going with.
Okay. And we got Miss Raconteur in the chat. Welcome. Welcome. And congratulations on going to Epic Universe with the hubby. Please. We're looking forward to you guys' photos.
We hope, barring any unforeseen, hopefully no one has to have a surprise organ removed.
Yeah, get some liquid luck going in the chat.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm so excited about that. And again, it just goes back to show how popular this IP is and why not only Hogwarts Legacy was a success outside of the work Avalanche Software did, but just the IP itself is going to be huge. And even this TV show that's coming out, which we haven't really gone into on the channel too much, like that's going to be huge despite everything. So like, and they're making another WB tour, I believe, in like Japan or somewhere, or China, I believe, because I think they just did one on one of those countries. And so like the Harry Potter came out years ago and it's still stronger than ever. Like, I mean, it's the same.
I went in November was when I got to go last.
That's right. You went with the kids.
Yep. Yeah. And dude, it's easily the most popular section in both of the parks. So for those of you who haven't been to the one in Florida, there's actually two.
Yep.
There's Universal Studios where they've got Diagon Alley, Gringotts, all that.
Yep.
Then you can ride the train over to the other park, Islands of Adventure, where they have Hogwarts and Hogsmeade and all that.
Yep.
And it's always the most popular one. So this, I'm really curious to see with Epic Universe, because I feel like the only, How to Train Your Dragon is popular.
Yes.
But I feel like Nintendo might be the only one that could
compete. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And because they're doing the more Fantastic Beasts angle, I wonder if it will still have as strong of a pull, since that didn't really hit with people as
very good question.
But I think it's still going to be mega popular. And the biggest rumor is, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a big rumor that they're already planning there's so much land where this new park is. There's already a planned expansion.
I've heard that.
This is a pretty, it's not for sure, but a pretty reliable rumor that the next big thing they're going to be adding is a Great Hall dining experience.
I've heard that.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Like,
yes,
bro, seriously? Like, and to your point about like the Fantastic Beast stuff, I'm glad they're highlighting it. Like, I've seen pictures of like Pickett and Teddy the Niffler and everything like that. Like, I've seen those, and even the Mooncalf that like kind of like moves around and stuff and interacts with you. But like, it's Harry Potter. And I think the 1920s Paris, France thing is to cover up, is going to be highlighted. But for those who still like the Harry Potter era, you got the Ministry of Magic, and you got us trying to, take down Umbridge again as she escapes whatever. So
this is like, because when these rumors first started coming out, I was like, they're not making it very lore accurate, but they actually. Right. This is a cool detail I saw in someone's video I was watching. When you go through the portal, this is like minor spoiler. Hopefully nobody cares. But when you go through the portal into this era, you hear the time turner. And there's time turners like around the portal. No. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Okay, that's Cursed Child thing.
Okay.
By the way, have you guys seen The Cursed Child?
I have, yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
I just recently watched, and it's pretty cool.
I've heard so many good things.
It's
I
like
know everybody hates the
it's
script.
visuals
fun.
great, but the story, you're like, oh man.
Yeah,
It's
like
too messy.
it's messy, but I could follow certain things, and it was like kind of fun ride across the memory lane in the new way.
Right.
It was like that, but still, it's just like I don't want the spoilers, but it's just like there's some cool moments
Everybody
that are
knows
like,
it, Ben. You're
oh
good.
my god,
Everybody
oh my
knows
god.
it. A lot of people know it. You're good, Ben.
Okay.
You're good. No, like everybody who's seen the play and who had read the script or whatever, everybody says go see the play. Don't read the script. Everybody says that. So if you're just reading it as it like by itself, the screenplay, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what is happening here? But if you watch it for what it is, as a Broadway, the person who's done so many performances ballet wise and stuff like that, you appreciate the spectacle and what they were able to do to make it feel like magic was being shown and displayed and stuff, you know, through the theatrics of Broadway. So
I'll just
go
say, like,
check it out.
I want to walk like they walk there all the time now. They do like the flips. Like you see the trailer, that's 90% of the play. 90%. They do that all the time. But I do that all the time too because it's so cool.
Yes, no, I co-sign that for sure, bro. For sure. But yeah, go check it out. Like, I know,
they travel
for yourself. Experience it for yourself. Let me see. Does Ben Snow know why we have two keepers that have time turners? Somebody needs to explain. Lucy. Wait, Lizzie, what? What do you do? Does Ben know why we have two keepers that have time turners? Lizzie, I need to explain on that one, please.
Well,
Flu Flames.
Now it makes sense because someone had, like, in case one messes things up.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with that.
I feel like it's almost you know, like
one mess up,
like for the nukes, you need like two different keys or three keys. So the one now one person pulls up the trigger.
Man, I mean, playing with time, that always is gonna happen. So
yeah. But that's where it. So whenever there's something about time traveling, it just messes with my mind so bad. Like Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite Harry Potter film, but it messes with my mind so bad when they travel and see each other. I'm like, but what is the real thing? Like, how? What?
And then
did the time knew in the future that that's gonna happen, or like what?
Have you thought about this in Cursed Child though, Ben? It doesn't work the way it does in Prisoner of Azkaban. Instead, they take over the body of the
I know
person in that time. I'm like,
it's just like that meltdown of the brain cells is what also you experience during Cursed Child as well. But it's fun. And it is spectacular.
Fun, yes,
it is. I can send you to Neil deGrasse Tyson on the loop. I'm telling you, because my kids, on time travel. My kids listen to it, like, we're outside of like listening to it, like podcasts or like Harry Potter on books. Whenever I take them, it takes them like 45 minutes to like take them to school in the morning and pick them up. We'll listen to Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he breaks down like there's a time loop thing. And I'll just send you the link because it makes a lot of sense. It made what happened, at least with Prisoner of Azkaban. I can't explain
because that one's a closed loop, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Prisoner of Azkaban is a closed loop. They always like it's meant to. They always been back. So
everything is interacted.
You don't have to worry about any branching timelines like you've got in Marvel.
Exactly.
Which is what essentially happens in Cursed Child. Is you got now there's infinite number of Potters running around.
Exactly.
I don't love that style.
No, but it was literally the back to the pilot episode in Family Guy. It was just literally they were like every one of them were missing something's up by a tiny bit, but it was missing everything. I'm like, oh my god.
Right. All right. Speaking of oh my gosh, these mods in Hogwarts Legacy, we got to talk about them. They are amazing. Ben, Retro, myself, a couple of other creators have been working with Curse Forge. I just started, but working with Curse Forge in regards to promoting some of the amazing mods the community has been highlighting. And thanks to them, they've been offering cash prizes weekly, like $500 to like 10 people or something like that. I'm like, good Lord, how much money is Minecraft giving them? Good
I
gracious.
know.
It's so insane. But there's been some amazing mods that have come in just in the short 2 months since it dropped late July.
Insane
January.
amount.
So much. So right now there is fan voting, and you have until tomorrow. I think the 10th, to put in your votes for your favorite of the 3 categories. Let me make sure, see if I can
gameplay, cosmetics, and world building.
World building, yep. And each of us put out a video. Go check it out, where you can get a preview if you're unable to take advantage of the mods, whether you play on console or not. Get a preview of the actual mods. Wait, let me see. Wait, this is not the screen. And I'm telling you guys, it's so good. Let me see. Share here.
The cool thing is that sorry. Go on.
Ben.
Oh.
No, you.
No, okay. We need to do tic-tac-toe. Okay, let's go. Who talks first? Okay.
Retro.
All right.
All right.
No, I was gonna say, while we're on the subject, like, so many people keep asking me, like, do I need to get a PC because they want them to come to console?
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I especially in this economy, I don't know if rushing out and buying a PC is like, unless you just have the disposable income, sure.
Right.
So but it's like a lot of people are wondering, are the mods like worth buying a PC for?
Yeah.
Like, if you're someone who is like super invested in this game, which if you're watching this stream, you probably are, and you have the money for it. I mean, the amount I'm a console guy, so I've never been really into mods, but I've just been blown away at how much there is. And I've been playing weekly. I mean, I'm sure if I was playing more, I could get through a lot more of it. But even just the amount of like new quests that have already been added. And now we're starting to see some really, I was talking to the guys right before we went live, some things that are really like telling a story. When it first came out, Dungeon of Doom was fantastic. But it was kind of like this, like, kind of one-off thing, right? Now that person has made a follow-up mod to that. Then we have a mod that just dropped recently that is XpectoPatronum. And I'm not going to spoil it for you guys because it's that, like, if you have access to mods, everybody needs to play that mod. Dude, this mod, I'll just tell you this, it has cutscenes. First mod I've seen to have actual cutscenes. And I'm like, how did they even do this? I didn't even know this was possible.
Right.
You meet the new character who's like found this book in the library talking about the Patronus charm. You're like, and then you go off on the quest.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think things like that were possible. And then, Ben, have you seen Orb of Water is in there now?
Yep.
Water spell. The fire.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
Protego Diabolica.
Yeah.
Aguamenti. And they're locked. They're not just, you don't just get them. All of them, you need to do something to unlock those things.
Yeah, you got to get further.
And there's talents. Yep. It's not just a spell. You can use talent points to upgrade those spells, and they become more powerful and have additional effects.
Yep.
So my hope is that they will eventually come to console. I mean,
hopefully.
I feel like at least maybe we'll get a definitive yes or no at some point, because they did kind of leave it. I think it said for now or something.
I have PTSD to word definitive now.
I know, right? True. The unofficial definitive edition.
So, that's what I was about to say actually. Adding to what you said, Retro, like combined with so many mods, it feels like this is a DLC. A definitive edition, because there's so many mechanics that are brought back that if you are playing the game from scratch, it's a different Hogwarts Legacy.
Exactly.
For sure. And like that's what's crazy, co-signing what Retro was saying. Like they've started to just kind of build their own world, and even I wouldn't even say fan like theories and stories, kind of expanding the world that we have in Hogwarts Legacy with that, because like we even get a description of the Expecto Patronum one on let me see, where is it? Right here. On
you can just read the description.
Yeah, and you have the description, and it breaks down like the summary, story, and like features, and like it's so great. And I even got an email when we talked about the DLC cancellation, which we'll get into, and one of the supposed scrapped quests was featuring the Ravenclaw companion, theory-wise. And somebody was like, yo, like, I'm working on that now. Like, do you want to help and everything? I was like,
I saw that.
Okay. So, like, that's what I guess is capable with these mods. And what I hoped
that is Mercer.
We heard about it. Yes.
By the way, ex developer of Hogwarts Legacy, actually.
Yes.
There's
I remember the name.
That have previously, some even currently still at Avalanche, which I'm like, man, that says something. When you had people that were that passionate about the world, people that aren't even working there anymore, and they're putting out mods for the game, like,
well,
totally for free. I mean, if you won the contest, you're going to get a little bit of money, but this is just out of the passion for this game.
But that's what it is, because I feel like once you're in the field and you will be doing it for free, and they are. This is for fun, and that's why I'm learning Unreal Engine right now. I'm making a huge ass spaceship just to learn things.
Nice.
It's fun. It's like, as a content creator with editing, it is similar. Not similar. Like if you've edited a video and you have an idea how kind of goes, but then it's just like in 3D and with brains attached to different things. It's fascinating.
It is. So with that contest going, I wanted to ask you guys your favorite, because we can only vote for one, and be sure to go vote. You have till tomorrow. Your favorite cosmetic out of the 30, your favorite world building, and your favorite gameplay mod out of the 30. And if you have like an honorable mention, like the Expecto Patronum one, Retro said, feel free to
because that one didn't
it's not part of the voting.
In there in time.
Yeah. So Ben, we'll start with you. Favorite cosmetic, gameplay, and world building mod from the 30 that was selected.
Okay, so cosmetic has gotta be the Dementor guys. Like that's literally, I was asking for it before, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love also when you have the Dementor broom and the Dementor guys, and it's a Dementor right in the broom, the Dementor right behind of you. So then gameplay, it's tough. It's tough because there's so many good options. I do like the spells and talents. There's the Dementor guys, the spells and new spells and talents, because it adds new spells. It adds little mini quests how you get those spells unlocked. Then you have talent trees, and they're really awesome. So I would do that one. And for world building, I think Azkaban. I'm torn between Azkaban and Doomland, because that one is completely out of this world. But I gotta go with Azkaban.
Azkaban,
it's awesome.
Yeah, I think that might be the popular one. I think that one might get it, honestly, just because I will say the what is it called? The one with like the gorgeous colors that's in Hogsmeade.
Oh, Shattered Veil?
Yes, something like along. What Shattered Veil was the DLC for?
The one that kind of looks like London?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
With the lights and everything. And it has like a bear and a Christmas
Twilight?
one.
Yeah.
Twilight. It's Twilight.
Twilight. MH, Twilight.
Yes,
something.
That's it.
Haven, yeah.
That is just aesthetically, that's a gorgeous one. So I just do want to shout that one out. Retro, what about you? Cosmetic, world building, and gameplay.
This is what I did in my video for it. I went and gave my picks. So I've got mine ready to go.
Okay.
Gobstones, I was totally blown away. I was not expecting
intricate.
Gobstones to be
yes
like that robust. It doesn't have controller support yet, last I checked. So I hope that gets added. Right now, you can only do mouse and keyboard.
Yep.
The cosmetic, I picked the Ministry, the Aura uniform. I love rocking that one. And then what was the other one? Azkaban.
World
Azkaban's the one I picked for that one.
Because
actually after the update from Nath Dev is the name of that one. And because it used to just be for those of you who haven't seen this mod, it's crazy, man. Like if you get seen using one of the unforgivable curses, a little pop-up shows up. Only if someone sees you, though. Like
yeah.
No one's nearby,
which is hard to do. By the
It
way,
is,
now I find out. I'm like, when I started doing, I'm like, come on, I'm killing people. See me.
Yep.
Come on.
It is.
And Nath Dev was hanging out in my chat when we were playing, and he had like the exact spot I should go to. He's like, go here. Remember where the Dug Bog? There's a Dug Bog in that village.
Yeah.
He's like, if you go there, that's a good place to do it because there's always people watching.
But
So
the
it used
update
to just
added
be-
more people.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
view
now
it,
there are
so you can
groups
see
of
it.
people near the camps just like chatting.
Yeah. So you can see you.
Just like discussing stuff. During the day though.
Oh man. So when this happens, it says like the ministry has been alerted, and then these orbs just start
Just
separating
operate in.
Uh-huh,
Yes.
uh-huh.
They
They're
messed
tough.
you up.
Yes. Yes.
I once the first time I tried, like, okay, yes, I'm gonna go to Azkaban, and I killed them all. I'm like, great, I have to do this again, fight another NPC to see me. I'm like, I'm too good.
So it used to just be you got sent to Azkaban. Well, now there's an update where you can escape once you get to Azkaban. And I'm not gonna, for people who haven't played it, I won't spoil it. But the stuff you get to do to escape,
It's
very
awesome.
difficult, and it's
very difficult.
it's awesome.
It's so good.
And every time, so also every time you successfully escape and then get arrested again, it becomes harder and harder
I
and
didn't
harder.
know
Yeah.
It keeps keeps upping the ante.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. Oh
I'm
my
gonna be
God.
so I have a gameplay video coming up real soon with it. So if you don't mind the spoilers, given the fact that you probably are on consoles, sorry about that. But I mean, at least that's also part of me, like why I want to be playing some of those mods and be doing the walkthroughs, because if at least you can play it, you can see
live vicariously.
what fans are, what kind of passion they're putting into this.
Yeah. No, like that's the thing. I'm just amazed by, again, the sheer amount of like mods and amazing stuff people were able to put in. And like honestly, my picks are selfish. Like
go ahead. What are yours?
I'm just gonna go selfishly. So let me see if I can bring it up. Let me go image and let me I know. Let me guess. Cosmetic.
I know it.
You already know.
I already know.
Was that one in the winners?
Yes. It's the new update. It's modern glasses.
Yeah, so it's modern glasses.
Have you not seen my fashion show showcase?
I did see it.
But they were not there. But they're not there.
They weren't. So that's how, like, when I was going through the mods, especially making the video and even seeing your stuff, Ben, I was like, yo, some of these glasses are dope. And so I even said it in the video.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to reach out to the author of the mod. I was like, see if I can get my glasses in there. And then next thing you know, she's like, yeah, I can have it done. And a week or a couple of days later, they're in game. They just got approved like yesterday. I'm just like,
nice.
Oh my gosh, they're in the game. So that's my cosmetic. I am wearing the Aura jacket though, which is tough. That Aura one. You got the badge.
It's really
Ministry
cool.
on.
Ministry,
Yeah, so good. Everybody said Azkaban. I think that's my favorite too. But I'll say Doomland just because you're in freaking space, bro. Like
I haven't done that one yet. I need to do that.
It's so insane. Oh my God.
It's so insane. And I remember the video you did, Ben, breaking down like the spell effects and how it looks aesthetically compared to the what is it, the Haunted Hogsmeade
it's
shot.
More like that.
Oh yes, yeah.
You have that effect with the spells, at least it feels like.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah.
For example, Joe Max Support Crow, he did a mod, and he in his dungeon, in his tavern, he also has that effect as well of the spells in Vivid.
But yeah, the fact you're in space, like honestly, because it's platforming, I won't spoil anything. It's a lot of platforming,
dude,
and I suck at platforming. I suck at it. I hate it with a passion.
It's horrible.
But I hate it with a passion. But at the same time, I'm just gonna stay here and take pictures. Like I don't care anymore. And I'm just gonna do that. But Doomland is real good. Like the puzzles is real good. And even before you even get to space, like the cabin and stuff is dark and it's creepy. It's just aesthetically like really cool. And even Sue was watching me like, okay, go here, check this out and stuff. So Doomland's a close second with the arena. That one's pretty cool. You can't cheese it with the no spell cooldown if you want to just AK everything. But if you want a challenge, check that one out. And then gameplay wise, I think I want to go with Gobstones as well, because I was surprised how intricate it was. Like,
and with the sounds,
the power you can adjust, the angles. It felt like a pool table game, but like,
I know,
and multiple. It's not just one thing. Too.
Three
versions.
Yes, three different mini games. Yeah.
And I said it in my video that why I love it so much is because even though the game is simple, but it's the opportunity to hang out just in the courtyard there. You're listening to the sound effects, to the ambient music, and you students passing by, and so that vibe of just like being there is what why it's so great.
Well said. Yeah. So you guys go vote for the 30 mods, and again, watch Retro. He still does mod Mondays, so you can see him try the latest mods. And Ben will be posting various gameplay stuff. I got to get into playing and showcasing those as well. But yeah, if you guys are unable to play because of the consoles, check out the content, because you can just see hopefully what Avalanche Software is like maybe picking from. It might be implemented into future installment, possibly, maybe.
Okay. So I had a thought just briefly that because before I was like really pushing and really hope the Definitive Edition is going to happen because they're going to have a chance to test out certain features that were cut out and see how people react to them. And I think the mods are those tests right now.
You think so?
Well, in a way, I think so. They're breeding companions. Now you can have them. They're of course not. It's a mod. We don't know how they would have worked if they were done by the developers, right? But it gives the test. It allows people to play with it, with new spells, with new mechanics, with new dungeons, and see what people gravitate more towards.
Yeah.
In the context of Hogwarts Legacy in general. Of course, it's a smaller percentage test, given the fact that consoles are not participating in this test.
Right.
But I think it's still a beneficial thing for the research that will go on into the sequel. You know, this is almost like an open beta.
It is.
And they're looking for new creators, I feel like, because, I mean, they're looking for new ideas. That's another thing, testing out what people will come up with in general, you know?
Real quick, Draco celebrating 2 months of Patronus Squad just with a high and 2 gifted Mimbies in chat. So, shout out to the Nebula and who is that? And wait, Andrew got a gifted Mimby there, and Draco's doing another one as well. The third one gifted. So Echo, welcome to Patronus Squad. Draco, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Everybody, let me get my gifts and nifflers in the chat as a thank you, Draco. But
nifflers in the chat, I missed that.
But no, so it's funny you said the companions one specifically, because Retro isn't Brenton or whatever his name
Dan,
Dan, isn't he still working at Avalanche? Because he was the one that made.
I know he for sure did previously. I don't know if he still does.
Okay, because I know he had popped in the chat like last Wednesday.
And he said all that he did for that functionality is just like unlocked what was there.
Yep.
Now I think he's added more on top of it since
for the Flu companions. You mean?
Yeah. He's added more on top of it.
Because like when I did my initial like my favorite mod one, which was like the spell cooldown. I had talked about some of the better ones early on when the mods were introduced, where it was done by like SW Gold or whatever, WB and Brenton, because both of those are were or still Avalanche Software employees. And a lot of the stuff they were doing was stuff I could easily see implemented in the back then. What I thought was going to be a DLC, a definitive edition, or even the sequel, because max talent points, changing of seasons, like simple stuff like infinite gear slots, like simple quality of life stuff on top of the flu companions mod that was coming from Dan. So and even Dan did like some of the aesthetics with the broom flying, where you can do some flips and stuff while flying on your broom and everything. So I feel like all of those things would just be cool stuff to have that doesn't necessarily would be a game changer when it comes to gameplay, but quality of life aspects that seem to be easily implemented and could easily be seen in a DLC or a future one. So my thing is like going off what you were saying, Ben, about this could be a like trial to see what people like, and then they can implement it in the sequel. I mean, you already have Avalanche Software ex-employees or current employees doing that. We could be seeing some of these things in the sequel, at least for sure, moving forward.
Or versions of them.
Yeah,
at least. Or maybe not. Maybe they will see and like, people are not getting this, or they're not interested in this. They're playing and then they're dozing off. Okay, let's adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
And also like seeing the problems that some of them bring. Like the companions is great. But man, Poppy just kept repeating the same line over and over.
But that's the thing where I think where it was questioned, because, for example, some of them were saying different lines in different situations, and some weren't. Like Sebastian was more talkative than say Poppy.
Sebastian had more lines to say also. So like even with Ominous, because I've enjoyed having Ominous as a companion, but he always referenced
he says the same stuff.
He says the same thing about like, yo, don't get too cocky, like Sebastian's a very good fighter or whatever, stuff like that.
Right.
So like my thing is, I mean, that's just line dialogue, like,
but there are more. I don't think all of them were connected, maybe, because when I watched that video from Grand Theft Diamonds, they looked at different dialogue options, and there's so many of them.
I remember the video made,
and so but I'm not seeing all of them being triggered in those situations. That's the first thing I did when I got companions. Okay, we're going on different quests, side quests, etc.
See what they say.
And they were not picking up the lines, but others do get triggered. So I think it's just not everything is connected.
No, that's a very good point. That being said, we're enjoying mods. We're loving it. Do you think it's coming to PC at all, Retro? That's the question. That is the question I get anytime I make a mod video or I post anything about mods. Oh, that's cool. It'd be nice if it was on console. So, I mean,
man,
do you think
it's so hard?
Like over under?
I mean, I think they 100% want it to.
They being Avalanche.
Yeah, it's what. Well, you guys probably remember. I reached out to Troy on Twitter, who used to work. Hasn't been with Avalanche in a long time, but just somebody, and like he would have insight right into what this is like. And he was just saying that it's gotten better with consoles over the years. Like we know Baldur's Gate 3's done it. There's some oh geez, who is it? Bethesda has done it. So it's like it can be done. And one thing I will add is it is even possible with CurseForge, because one of the big games that they do mods for is I think it's Ark. That has console mods. So technically it is possible with the system they have in place with CurseForge. It's just a matter of what Troy was saying, is that there are way more hoops to jump through with Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft. Microsoft
because being of the platforms,
right. Microsoft being the one most willing to allow things. Sony kind of somewhere in the middle, and then of course Nintendo. Very, 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 very strict about what goes on there.
But also, I feel like Switch might explode if it tried to do mods on it. Even the two.
Question before you continue, Retro. Because my son has Skyrim on the Switch. Do you guys know off the top of your head if any of the Skyrim mods are on the Switch?
I don't.
Okay. Chat, if you know, let me know.
Let me just ask.
But go ahead, Retro, when you're talking about what Troy was saying.
I mean, yeah, like that was basically it, but I didn't give you my answer yet. Like I lean toward, especially with no definitive edition happening,
Yeah.
I lean toward yes, but I'm not like super confident in it. I'd say like
Right.
55% chance yes.
Okay.
I think it would be like a great send off to Hogwarts Legacy because I think we've never had a moment like every time they've done these like summer updates and everything, it's just been like, here's our next Hogwarts Legacy update. You know, Chandler spoke about, hey, we know you guys want New Game Plus. We're at least thinking about it, looking into it. Yeah. So we've never kind of had that definitive moment. There's definitive again. We've never had that moment where they're like, guys, this is it for Hogwarts Legacy. You know, this has been great.
Pull the trigger, pull the plug.
We're full steam ahead on the sequel and our multiplayer game. So
I checked. Yeah, go ahead.
My fingers are crossed. I'm gonna say 55% chance yes, as like the final update to Hogwarts Legacy will include mod support on consoles.
Yeah. By the way, Skyrim doesn't have mods on Switch.
Okay, it doesn't have it. Okay, good to know. Ben, chances we getting a console?
I'll because I'll say that 50-50 simply because we don't know if it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of yes and no.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really mean anything. But I think you brought a good point about Microsoft being cool with it, PlayStation semi-cool, and Switch not. But at the same time, they can just not bring mods to Switch, right? They can do that easily. I think like if I were to rationalize not having mods on consoles right now, probably because even when you do have mods, they're more limited and limiting than on PC. Not all of them are going to be present there.
Right.
And so I think, well, the good thing is that this mod support has its filters set up through which each mod goes through before it becomes live.
Yeah.
I think it all has to be rated T for teen.
Yes, exactly. Everything has to be has to match that parental guidance.
Which you would think would help if you're trying to get it on.
And I think because sometimes people can overlook or sometimes things can happen. I've seen certain mods getting pulled out. Right now they're not available anymore, right? Yeah. So I feel like because it's in early stages and they're still kind of working it out, polishing it a little bit, I think maybe down the road there's a good chance if they see. I think there is huge demand. And people will love it because based on the buzz that has been created right now, and people know that there's a lot of cool stuff with mods right now.
Yeah.
And so there is demand for sure. It's just a matter of if they want to actually go, go for it. So 50-50. There you go.
So we got 55% from Retro, 50 right on 50 from Ben. I'll go 35%. I'll go 35% chance we'll get it on console. I'm not saying it's not out of the question. I think there's this pretty strong answer amongst the team on if we're getting it. And it's either heavy no or heavy yes. And I don't know if Avalanche Software has the go-ahead for that. Because they, like you said, we have to go through Sony for PlayStation, Nintendo for Switch, and of course Microsoft for Xbox. But who goes through that? That would have to be WB, I would assume, as the publisher. And so I'm just looking at their prioritizing, what they're prioritizing. They're like, hey, we got the Hogwarts Legacy coming on the Switch too. They're like, do we need it? I mean,
right, because it makes them. I would maybe it makes them a little bit of money by resulting in a few more sales, but it would purely be like a gesture of like thank you to the fans.
And it boils down to the part. I think I want to kind of segue it into partially the next topic a little bit, but if they I think it comes back to the decision to pull the plug on the DLC and the definitive edition.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
Let's not spend time and resources on this.
Do we want to put manpower into something like this?
Sequel.
Exactly.
Just like, let's go head on. And I think maybe mod support and trying to integrate it into the consoles is probably going to be the same decision where, okay, well, what's done is done. We're moving forward. Yeah. And maybe if we have a few days off on the weekend or something, I don't know, we'll maybe bring you that. I'm just speaking figuratively, but I think at this point, that's how it is.
But and like, honestly, that's where I'm at. But at the same time, the consoles was
go ahead, James. Talk yourself out of it.
The console sales were the majority of the sales for Hogwarts Legacy. Like, how do you leave out the majority of your community? And I know that's not an Avalanche Software decision. Knowing Chandler and Eric and Andrew and everybody who is involved in the marketing, having their ear to the ground, knowing that we as console players feel left out. So, like,
when it was announced, that was every reply.
That was like,
which they had to know that was going to happen.
Yeah. And so, like, again, like, there's two sides. This could have been a testing ground to see what is popular amongst the sweaties who are into mods. Where we could possibly, if you don't know the term sweaties, I know. If you sweaties means
I know sweatpants.
No, nerds. The people who are like hardcore into a certain topic.
Sweaties, interesting.
Sweaties.
Like with competitive gaming, you see it a lot. Ben.
I used to be called a sweaty because I would stay up and play Civilization at my local comic store. / video game store till 4 a.m. in the morning.
By the way, I love Civ as well. By the way,
we got to play. But anyway, or it was something they're testing out to possibly eventually have on console. And so I'm like, either WB is like, we need the manpower to prioritize, which they said the sequel. Or Avalanche Software is like, can we just at least give the console players something? Because we know a lot of people feel left out. And so it's like of two minds. I know this is being said over here by Avalanche. Possibly this is being said by WB, which is why they're doing the hiring, which we'll get to the other game. So I'm like torn because I feel like WB with this new game, which we'll talk about, is really putting their foot down and like, I need a couple of live service games coming from the Wizarding World that isn't Quidditch Champions, that isn't Magic Awaken. And so
I'm pulling back.
Who's winning out of that? That's all I'm saying.
I'm tracing back on my idea. And also, Cindy, I have not played the trading card game simulator, but just briefly. So I'm not in the. But anyways, I just realized something. I don't think it's a matter of going forward about the sequel because they have. It's not like Avalanche is making the mods. They partnered with CurseForge.
Yep.
So CurseForge is taking the heavy lifting, and what WB is doing is just like making sure, okay, this is good, this is not good, that's it. So I think it's still more possible. Okay, I'm tracing back. Okay.
Oh,
you know, they don't have to do much.
Yeah, exactly.
It's CurseForge is integrating this. Mods are creating this. Modders
talking to Nintendo. Or
they would have to do that step.
But it's more more talkative rather than taking actual developers' time to.
Right. I see what you're saying.
It's not from developing the game.
Legacy too.
Yeah, so it shouldn't clash.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm you know what, I'm gonna put 60%. Well, so 55, closer towards yes.
I'll fill that 50% mark there. Either way. So we got 60 from Ben, 55 from Retro Map, 50. We got it all covered. Oh my gosh. Cindy celebrating 30 months Patrona Squad. I love the three of you going down Niffler holes, which is what we call rabbit holes here, where we start doing theory diving and just how our brain works. Thanks, Cindy, mod extraordinaire. Appreciate the support. Speaking of support, I don't know how this transitions, but
he's trying to figure
Support Crow? We're talking about Support Crow now?
Wait. No, I can make this work. Support. Speaking of support has gone for the DLC and definitive edition of Hogwarts Legacy. Boom! There we go. He got it.
There's no support
No
for the
support.
definitive
There's
edition.
no support for those.
Yeah.
So question, let me go back. I forgot. I gotta bring up the questions I have for you guys. Hold on. So
I think you were gonna ask, do we think it was ever real? Right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that was the first one. So quickly,
Oh,
do you think the definitive edition / DLC in chat? I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this was real as we transition into the topics? Do you think the DLC definitive edition really exists? It started with Benjamin.
yes, I think it is real.
All right, Retro, you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I think 100% it was real.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Like I still get that. Like when I made the cancellation video, there was a couple of people saying, "Well, like now you know, like it was never real in the first place. You guys were hyping it up. This is what happens when you do that type of stuff." I was like, "Bro, like these are like the top insiders. Like these cats stayed on this topic and didn't falter from the topic at all. Like they were confident, and it's the same people that broke so many stuff concerning WB." Montreal studio shutting down and the Wonder Woman stuff. And so like going back to Jason Schreier, I'm just like, bro, it's real.
I've got so many people also like, haha, I knew it's never gonna happen. You never knew. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Come on. But because also sorry, everything is so fluid in the industry. Things can change all the time. Games are happening and then all of a sudden they're not. You know, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not like we're just grasping at straws. We're just pulling random stuff out of the skies. No, there was legitimate like reason. There was a point where we were just like wishing for it, but then there was, and that's one thing. And then there was the Jason Schreier's thing came out, and we're latching onto this because it's a reliable source.
Yes, exactly. Like he's one of them. It was real. I don't care what anybody says. Like, haters gonna hate whatever. But like,
I know. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this and not get myself in trouble. But like, let's just say I am very confident there were more plans than what happened with post-launch Hogwarts Legacy. And you don't need inside information to tell you that when you have one of the best-selling games ever made. I mean, like, come on. It's a layup. Like. You put anything out. And we didn't really talk about the reasoning they gave, which is that, and again, let's be 100% clear. This is all unofficial. It was unofficially announced. It was unofficially canceled. So WB was silent. They don't have to say a word. According to them, what definitive edition?
We never said anything about this.
But according to Schreier and his report, it was that they didn't feel confident it was going to be able to justify the price that they wanted to ask, which I'm just like,
I don't buy that at all.
Really? Like already seeing what's been created with mods in 2 months?
Exactly.
I'm like, come on.
And
but I think it might be the point. But I think it might be the point. I feel like, what if there's stuff that people add in with mods for free, and now we're bringing with the DLC and we have to pay for them? People might feel like, well, blah, blah, blah. Like, we know there could be confrontation. I think more it's about, why don't we just save this and bring it into the sequel? Have that thing be packed. Say that idea for the DLC for the sequel, if that makes sense.
With a lot of games in the past. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is a perfect recent example.
Hell, DLCs turn into games sometimes. They're supposed to be.
Mirage was the same way.
Spider-Man, Miles Morales was supposed to be a DLC.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Sorry, we keep interrupting each other. Sorry, I'm sure you were saying.
No, I was done. Or was James talking then?
No. Like,
I just think after hearing that, my biggest fear, the thing we don't know how many people were working on this versus how many people had moved on to the sequel. So I'm like, if 90% of Avalanche was working on this and now they're making this shift, I'm like, oh my goodness, how far is Hogwarts Legacy 2? On the flip side, if it was like, 20% of the people working on that and everybody else was like full steam ahead on the sequel. Because I'm just like, oh man, I'm getting worried. I feel like the sequel might be 2028 at this point.
I mean,
am I bird, my guy?
It
might as well be.
Because it's far off. They said it's far off. So
it is far off, and I feel like it should be. I feel like it should be. I don't know if it should be, but like that's a different topic, and I can go both ways. I want the sequel right now, right this second, but it's a different thing how you want to market it and when you want to release it. Like you want people to be hungry for it. You do. You don't want to overfeed, if that makes sense.
But like
there are cons and pros, of course, and like that's what I was talking in the comments with Pete, I believe, in about this. Like, because one point is like, why not release the DLC even if it's little, and just let people have it? Meanwhile, we're all waiting for that, right? It totally makes sense. But then on the other hand, if you do release it, you satisfy the player just a tiny little bit. But that tiny little bit will not be enough to satisfy the full hunger. And so people will feel like, this is nothing. This is not good enough. We need the sequel. And so, but that the whole idea and the feeling how you have about the game now, it's like, it's not enough. It's just little stuff. Then you have that staying among the community. And that's something you don't want to have people talk about, because it's a bad reputation.
So like,
I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly what I said in my video. Cause I made a point. This was one of the least scripted videos I had made, but like I made a point to try to see from both sides. And I even gave WB credit. Like if that was the response, like you don't want to ruin any reputation you have with Hogwarts Legacy, with the DLC or definitive edition possibly being ill received, then just scrap it and just keep the anticipation build up going for the sequel. And then that way you don't have to worry about ruining any reputation that you've already built with the 34 million copies sold for the first game. So I get that. That's a great perspective. And honestly, if that was their intent, then kudos. And let's not forget, this was reported initially over a year ago.
But less, like it's in summer. It started like in June-ish?
No, it was reported at the beginning of 2024 by Jason Schreier, either around January or February. The DLC Definitive Edition was reported back then. What I'm saying is, if they've been working on it for a year, why cancel now?
Right.
This goes back to the restructuring that Schreier talks about in the article, because as soon as this was canceled, remember a week or two before, we also started hearing about the three studios being canceled: Monolith, WEB Games San Francisco, and Player First or whatever.
Monolith! I'm so mad. I'm so not. Oh my God, Monolith!
I know.
Because Schreier had just went on that Kind of Funny podcast and talked all about WB, and he reconfirmed there definitive edition is happening.
Yes,
and then it was just like a week or two later.
I was pissed about it too. Because I literally was just like, I'm now used to when there's a news about something. That's why I sometimes start to choose not to make news related videos, because I make something about it and then week after it's like it's dead. The whole thing just in the garbage. All my effort, not sleeping, like what the hell? Well, like what? Are you kidding me? And so great.
And I know, if that's where it's at, that's tough.
That's why I start for news videos. I just like I'm just like reacting to the news instead of all the fancy edits.
Now that's what I do too. Like it's just like whatever. It might as well be a live video, live. But
reacting.
Chop, done.
Yeah. Keep it simple and share your thoughts. And that's the tough part, because also we forget that David Haddad he didn't get fired, but I think he got fired.
He left.
He stepped down.
He stepped down.
He stepped down. That's what the official sources said.
Because someone had to take responsibility.
He got fired.
Someone had to take responsibility. Changes had to be made.
But what happens if it was him who greenlit the DLC and definitive edition in the first place? And upon his stepping down or firing is what I think, they were like, okay, anything this dude set into motion earlier, we're gutting it, we're getting rid of, and we're starting fresh with our new plan with the live service.
Which sounds like a sound approach.
Yes, which I could totally agree on. But at the same time, how do you not, like, let's be honest, WB lost just the WB Games division, not talking about the movie division and everything from WB Discovery. They lost over $400 million last year, just in the games division. 200 with Suicide Squad, 100 with Multiverses. They even said Quidditch Champions lost the money as well.
Yes.
So how do you, knowing you lost that much money, look at the highest selling game that you've had in years and say, no, we don't need a DLC. We need money though.
We don't need money.
Need a DLC.
Dude, James, as you're saying that, I'm like, surely it had to be close to being done, right?
Yes, because it was like a year. Yes.
If there's they have posters for them. They just released them. I'm like, I believe, I am convinced that those were the materials for this.
So if we go under the assumption that it was basically done or close to being done, then I kind of lean to what you guys were saying. Maybe they weren't happy with the quality.
Yeah.
Because if it's already done, like you've already paid for it essentially in terms of what you put in. I mean, you don't pay for marketing. You're gonna have to pay for all that.
But manpower,
exactly. Like that's a lot of money.
In terms of the like time to design the game.
Yeah.
If it's basically done, it's like, why wouldn't you just release it for?
But it can be an investment. I feel like from their perspective, it's a better investment to not release anything right now. Recycle for the new sequel. It will still be used. The effort will not go to waste.
Yeah.
But it will not, like, because they saw that this DLC is probably not going to sell. They probably did their, I don't think it was just going to be like, this is done, right? Because we see only one thing. But from their perspective, there were people who like,
we're going
to sell approximately this amount of DLCs. And they're like, that's not worth it.
That's why I'm leaning towards the quality thing. Because there's no way anybody at WB thinks anything concerning Hogwarts Legacy is not going to sell. There's no, if there's anybody working at WB who thinks that, then they need to be fired. I'm sorry. Like there shouldn't be anybody thinking that way. If they put out anything, they wouldn't sell like anything with Hogwarts Legacy. So I lean more towards the content net being up to par with the well-received reception and reputation they've developed with the first game. That's why I lean towards that. But at the same time, like now, I think they're just playing the long game because their stocks have been down, and obviously with the tariffs and stuff and everything now, I don't even know if that affects them, but still, their stock has been like maybe teetering out a little bit, but it's still like been on the lower end of the spectrum compared to 2023. So my thing is like, hey, like maybe give yourself a little boost, put out the DLC definitive edition. You got this Switch 2 coming out. Now you have that to coincide with the Switch 2 release. It just made sense to me.
Oh, it made perfect
marketing
sense.
You know what I'm
By
saying?
the way, there's just right now a post about Hogwarts Legacy coming out on Switch right now.
Oh, nice.
a tweet.
Always stuff on Wednesday, bro. Like,
and there it is. The game card is like the
new one?
The new thing. Well, I don't know if it's going to be, but I think so.
Hold on. Let me bring it up.
But you know what? Maybe it was Nintendo of Europe. But
Europe.
And there's probably America soon coming. But you know what? I just briefly, I think maybe it is only the Switch 2 version because on that small game card, this poster kind of fits in better.
Is it a poster or a video, Ben?
Just poster. Discover the enhanced magic of Hogwarts Legacy, including improved visuals, faster loading times, and mouse controls when it launches June 5th on Nintendo Switch 2.
I am missing it.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
You got the Connect spin or something?
I'm on Nintendo Europe.
Same. I'm on there. Are you on their Twitter, right? X?
Yeah.
And you said they just posted?
The notification just came in.
What? I'm refreshing.
Okay,
the last post I see is the Hades.
Yeah, so
giant games.
I see the look.
Well, it was. Maybe it was Warner Brothers reposted.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Okay, hold on, because I found it, but it was from like April 2nd. Hold on.
Oh, the day of the announcement.
Or maybe it's the older, but they reposted it now. But
yeah,
it's
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why it's not the new. Okay, never mind.
I think that's exactly what it is. There you go.
Yeah.
I see it here.
Discover the enhanced magic of Hogwarts Legacy, improved visuals, faster loading times, and mouse controls. And launches June 5th. But yeah, this is the cover though. This looks like a Switch 2 cartridge.
Box art, yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if for cartridge, this fits in better, kind of.
Which is why they have the deluxe edition version of it as well. Interesting.
Bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the DLC thing, I just look at it from, I can see it from two things can be correct. They missed an opportunity possibly of making a good amount of money by releasing the DLC in definitive edition while also not releasing it to maintain its reputation and its status as a great game so far, with not releasing it, because you open yourself to a possibility of it not being well received. So both things can be true, because they definitely would have made money, but also I think they were saving the reputation of the game by not doing anything. So
because I agree, Moon Lily. You want to have us busy before while the sequel is coming, but it's
we've been trained. 22. Everybody remembers what happened in 2021.
Oh,
nothing. No words.
We waited for so long for this. There were technically the hiatus was since 2018, and it was just a rumor. Well, it was a rumor, but then it announced, and then we thought it was canceled.
But we got that huge trailer in 2020.
Yep.
And it was supposed to come out in 2021.
Nothing for 2 or more years.
And
right?
then 2021 at the beginning they said, "Hey, we need a little bit more time to create the magic." And then there was nothing. And then March hits of 2022, and we got the state of play and the behind the scenes. And then 2022 was just packed with everything. They hit us up in April of 2022. Ben and stuff for the gameplay showcase, which you were planning way before then. So like 2022 was packed, but 2021 and even at the end of 2020, quiet. Nothing.
I
feel like we're entering that one of those periods again.
And that's my point. Yep.
And I don't like it.
I know.
That's my point.
I don't like it.
That being said, real quick, what was something you possibly were hoping to see from the definitive or DLC version that did exist? I was just saying.
I mean, I stand by my Azkaban the whole time.
That's right. You've been
Azkaban
saying
and Patronus Charm.
You've been saying
it was already in the game. No way they put that just for Hufflepuff.
Quest. I forgot about that.
Yep. And like more presence of the Dementors and all of that, because they're in the freaking poster.
In the first trailer, the Dementors are there.
Yeah, the 2020 reveal trailer. True.
I mean, whatever.
Now I've got it in mod form.
But that's what I was about to say. I just briefly forgot what I was about to say. It happens so often now. I can't believe it. I think it's the content creation, being on social media, being in live streams, but like I'm literally switching topics. Just keep forgetting. Anyways, like I feel like I've been spoiled with mods. And I have so much to play with, new spells, new quests, this and that.
Overwhelming.
I don't know what I would have loved at this point. Like probably all of that.
That's a great point.
In the definitive edition. But I feel like this is also the point of them choosing this. Because I'm honestly, the fact, like I hated the fact that there is no DLC, but at the same time, well, I have mods now and there's so much to get myself busy with.
Explore. Yep.
And it's for free and it's just never ending. And so that's why,
me personally, I always lean narrative. Like that's something I'm missing with the mods, because even like with the side stories and stuff and quests, like they have their own like little stories and stuff, but like narratively, none of it feels like a continuation. all of it feels like something that you just happen to go against. And like having the skin of a Niffler kind of takes the immersion out of it sometimes as a cosmetic.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So like with the DLC or Definitive Edition, I was leaning towards just continuing a narrative, whether it was the Ravenclaw Companion, RIP, or anything else that could be a stopgap that was a bridge that could lead into the sequel coming from the first game.
Exactly.
And so like that's a big reason why I'm like very upset about the DLC in the Definitive Edition, outside of like console players not having anything. But narratively, I'm one of those people like us who are fortunate enough to have the mods, but it doesn't scratch that narrative itch for me right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Mods are like the fan fiction where Avalanche approved is like canon. That's like the story.
Exactly.
Right. I agree.
Fan fiction is great, but it doesn't satisfy.
I agree. I feel like that's what I was kind of missing. Like, I think I talked about in one of the videos, like mods are cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like one thing and that's it. Yeah. But like in combination, you can get yourself busy. Yeah. But yeah, it's always like, that's why we get official stuff. It's more like there's some narrative quest and you continue. But your point, like that was also, I agree with that before that, like Hogwarts Legacy needs a cliffhanger, I feel like, and it didn't. And so like, that was an opportunity also. I was like thinking that the DLC or the Definitive Edition could do that, to have some sort of a cliffhanger at the end of it that, well, people are like, oh, okay, now we can see where the sequel might go potentially, or like kind of telegraph. Yeah, there's the sequel. Of course, we now know that it's happening, but I think, like how Spider-Man's games end, right? Usually with a little like, and then you are expecting it for forever, and there's stuff to latch on to.
Yeah. And especially after they proved themselves with the first game, I think we all wanted a little more from the story. Yeah. Now maybe they have that freedom because they did such a good job and they had the good sales that. Yeah. Now maybe you've got more freedom in this one too.
That's what Troy said.
You want to do something with the founders instead of Percival Rackham. You can do that.
Percival Rackham
should have been Merlin, bro.
But now,
when James, oh my goodness, I've just had a flashback moment to you,
bro,
playing the preview and being like, "It's Merlin."
I thought it's what I was confused. I didn't. I probably overheard it, but like it didn't register for me that it's not Merlin for the first time. So I'll be like, "Oh, that's Merlin," and I was just assuming, and then I hear like that this Rackham. Who's Rackham?
Yeah, like Rackham.
Yeah.
Like,
who in the ham sandwich?
But like, James, you shouldn't be upset about it because you called it pretty much legit. You just like you got wrong the name about but about that person and the seer. So like that aspect, you got it right.
I know.
Actually, we should do maybe one stream because like we had so many freaking theories before. Because I have a list of things that I got right and I got wrong. I did the goblins like dead on right.
Yeah. I got the professors.
I haven't done that. I got the
professors right because I remember talking with one of the developers when I visited. And they remember seeing my professor's video like a day or two after the state of play. And I said, she looks to be a divination professor. I think she might be related to Natty. This was back a year before the game release and months before we started getting the player cards.
Yeah.
And I nailed the houses where the professors, because I was like, I think Professor Hecat could be head of Ravenclaw House and everything. I got the names wrong because we still had those three names floating about on IMDb.
Helen Thistlewood.
Thistlewood, yeah.
Who is I got the HUD. I got the HUD pretty much, but flipped on different sides.
Yeah. So like, that's a good idea, man. Go back to all the theories and see like what you got right and stuff. But
I think it just comes back to the fact like we are also passionate about this, and like we know the lore. We're just like swimming in it every day, and that's what developers are doing as well. And so like once you go into the logical realm of it and start exploring things, then you find those answers that the developers themselves are trying to solve.
No, that's
questions.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Speaking of theories, let's get into the final topic. The freaking mystery game that Avalanche Software is working on. And
talk about a bombshell.
Bro, when this was announced, I was like, where did this come from? Multiple games?
I know.
I mean, speaking of called it, I gotta say, I called. Did I not, James? As soon as they started making all this money, I said they need to make branch off into 2 teams, take some of this money, hire a new team, and let them do the multiplayer. Leave the Avalanche we know and love to do a single player, which seems like what we're getting.
Looks like what we're getting. Avalanche is hiring, said by Retro months ago.
Time.
Calling all witches and wizards across the globe. Avalanche is looking for the next wave of talent to build multiple games. And this is the recent one. So they initially made this exact little promo banner talking about their hiring, and it only had like 5 positions. This one, I believe, has 8, and they added some. So if you go to the website, this is the big one. Now, this apparently seems to be hiring for one specific game. And going to their hiring website, you will see more information that I cannot wait to talk to you guys about. So this is for the lead designer job, and let's just go right into it. The job as lead designer for our online multiplayer RPG. What in the world are they making?
Like, I didn't know how to even react to this.
I was just MMO, like, what is happening? So Retro, start us off. Just your initial thoughts when you heard this, and like, what are we getting here? What is this?
I mean, we should start by saying they said multiple games. I think we're all assuming 2 because 3 would be crazy. But they didn't say 2, so it could potentially be more. But no, I mean, I feel like it's setting up for, you've got the Hogwarts Legacy team. They're making the sequel. Probably not going to have online elements at all. Maybe they try to do some little co-op thing. I don't know, but I think
agreed.
I mean, I think this is they're trying to make this that Harry Potter experience that so many people have been wanting for years. I mean, it doesn't say MMO, but I mean, I lean, the way it sounded to me, honestly, it was like a Destiny for third person. And I'm used to be a huge Destiny fan. I played so much Destiny. And so I'm hoping that they have taken lessons from the whole Naughty Dog situation, which we've talked about a couple times when we've gotten together, because Naughty Dog tried something like this and made the decision of like, oh my goodness, to support this live service, we can't do this and still make our single player games. So it seems like they're building this from the ground up of like, we're going to hire a team that is like, this is their thing, is to build this online game. And so they're hiring, I mean, they've got all these positions. I assume they're going to have even more once they get kind of these leadership roles filled and go from there. But I mean, I'm super pumped. A lot can go wrong. And as you guys, we were talking earlier, like so much can change in the game industry. It changes so quickly. But like the fact that Avalanche, the umbrella of Avalanche, that they're doing it within that studio really excites me. Instead of just saying like, we're going to, give it to Rocksteady, or we're going to give some other studio working on this. So, I mean, I don't know how all the hierarchy works of like, is Alan 2 going to be over both these games and he's going to oversee it? Or is it like someone like Moira, who's a little bit like, but the fact that the Avalanche leadership, at least some people at Avalanche, are going to have a hands on this with hiring the people, that's really exciting. I think my biggest question is, will it be Hogwarts Legacy or will it be Harry Potter?
Oh, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there.
Or do they pull back and just say Wizarding World? Because I
could
go either way.
Same. So we do know who the game director is.
This is nice.
This is Jared Burbach.
We used to work for Bungie.
He used to work at Bungie. Going to your point, Retro, about the whole Destiny thing. Let me see what the activity.
When did he start? Right.
2024. 2024. Last year.
When did you find this? This is a good find.
So this was, I talked about it last week. I'm actually putting together a video, but this was
he was last January.
Yeah, last January. And he commented on the post saying we're hiring on Twitter. And he's like, I'm handling the hiring. So I just looked him up and it said,
let's go.
And so his thing says game director, WB, new title. And then says Riot Bungie, formerly game director in League of Legends. So I thought about you immediately because when you said the Bungie thing. So that's why I brought this up when you were talking about it.
That's a good shout.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think this is the new director for the sequel or for this separate multiplayer online one?
This is for the online one. Online one.
Looking at his experience.
Yeah, this is for the online.
Do you think Alan 2 will remain the director for the sequel?
For sure. I mean,
because sometimes it's not like he's gonna leave, but sometimes they can do like slightly rotate. There's a director and like he's like it could be the producer, like slightly change it up.
They're idiots. But they get rid of Alan. They're idiots.
Yeah. That's true. But I'm just saying, like sometimes it's.
I was glad to see him in that trailer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I was too. I was too. What I was saying, for example, that's what they were doing with God of War. It's Balrog. Corey Balrog would do one, then they kind of switch it up a little bit for one, and then come back. So I think that's
I think they want to maintain the team over there. They still have Chandler, who was part of.
But yeah, Alan 2 is the GOAT, guys. By the way, talking about the GOATs, check this out. Remember this t-shirt?
My goodness!
This is their representation, guys.
Yes,
that's hilarious.
That's who they are.
Yeah,
the Avalanche. That's the thing. Like their decisions. That's what I was kind of talking about. In one of the videos, where like when Avalanche is making decisions, we gotta trust them.
Yeah,
because those guys know what they're doing. They knew what they did before. They did fantastically.
Hashtag let them cook.
Exactly.
Hashtag let them cook. So, quickly, when I first heard this, honestly, I was just like, I didn't know what to think. I did not know what to think. But upon looking at the description of the job titles, I got a little bit worried because I saw online multiplayer art. Like I'm not gonna lie, I got a little worried,
right?
Because I was like, okay, like they have said publicly numerous times, they being Warner Brothers Discovery, concerning the games division, WB Games, they're going to prioritize not only the sequel but live service, always on mobile games, and they're going to prioritize focusing on the top franchises: Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, and I'm missing one, DC. And so like this sounds like a move coming from WB Games from a financial standpoint, because always on means you always have revenue coming through, which means your stock doesn't drop. All those
theoretically speaking,
right. Yeah, because that didn't happen with Suicide Squad. But anyway, so that was my initial thing. Shock and oh no.
but
wait,
oh no.
I was excited because of the MMO, but the live service element was ever present in the back of my mind. But
well, I mean, I think that's a given. I think we just gotta.
That's where the oh no reality. Came from. Yeah, that's where the oh no came from.
I don't think that's going away anytime soon.
No, well, you have to prove it to me now. You have to prove yourself to me now. And I think going back to Avalanche, having somebody like a Jared as a game director with extensive knowledge in a lot of the games, like a League of Legends and a Destiny, and even some of the Riot games that he talked about, his experience points to what I'm excited about and what Joe Mack has been talking about for a long time, an MMO type style of game, because even if you look up online multiplayer RPG games, they are all MMO type games.
Right.
They are all MMO type games.
Yeah.
So,
but I would love to see that, because
me too.
Live service, well, whatever. Like, so I don't necessarily like. What the hell where did you come from? Sorry, there's a giant ass fly. It's like a dinosaur. What the hell? Everything is closing here. Anyways, like if I were to choose that it's like a battle royale kind of type of thing where we battle each other, I see that potentially, it's just like potentially,
right,
that I will doze off from that very quickly. Unless it's really fascinating combat, etc. But again, as a non-multiplayer person, I prefer more, if it is a multiplayer, I prefer it be some sort of story-related or more extensive experience rather than quick games.
For sure.
I think it'll definitely have.
But it could be both. It could be. It could be. It could be both, because again,
that's how Destiny is.
Yes,
it has the both.
Yes.
Oh my god!
But it's first person, because that's the thing, dude. Are we going to get a first person Wizarding World?
I think it'll be third person.
I think it would be third person too, because you got to highlight the cosmetics.
It calls for it.
You got to highlight the cosmetics.
Unless it depends though, because then spells are up right in front of the camera. But I don't know. Like it feels off. Like for example, I was playing. What was it? Immortals. I think it was. It was just first person wizard. It was fun, but it's just like I like to. For that, third person feels more better.
Yeah. So knowing what we know so far, question: what timeline are we hoping for this game?
Hoping or expecting?
I think for which one's for which one's
this one? We're strictly sticking with the online multiplayer RPG. What timeline? Okay, are you hoping? But do you think we're going to get? And I'll start with you, Retro.
I mean, if they're just now hiring these people, how long did Hogwarts Legacy take to make? Like 6 years?
At least, somewhat like that. I think
I would say 2031, 2030 at the earliest.
No. I'm sorry.
Oh my!
Rephrase. What timeline? In the Wizarding World. In the Wizarding World. Yeah.
I need to cast a spell.
No, I kind of hope they go. Let's go like present day.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Go present day, like the present timeline. So you can have references to Harry Potter in there and his victory over Voldemort, but have it set. I mean, because Harry Potter was in the 90s, I think technically.
Correct.
So. Right. You could have it to where, I don't know when McGonagall officially like stepped down as headmistress, but you could have totally new professors and everything. Yeah. But references to the things that happen in Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, I feel like they could take a roadmap of Hogwarts Mystery somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Because Magic Awakened did
I was about to say Magic Awakened.
Wait, or Hogwarts Mystery was before slightly.
So
I don't remember.
It was after. Hogwarts Mystery was after. It was the continuation.
Was definitely after.
Magic Awakens after. Hogwarts Mystery is before.
It was? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
Wizards Unite was present day. Wizards Unite was actually 2019. That was also the release year, but timeline wise, this is 2019 in the story narrative. And what's her name? Hermione is the current head mistress and carries the aura of magic. Yeah. And I'm trying to think. There was some other stuff. So this was like the first trailer we got for Wizards Unite. And this was like a quick thing they did.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So this was like current day.
I remember being so excited because I thought, oh my god, they're doing a TV series with continuing with stuff.
Bro,
and I'm like,
this was a game. Yeah.
Okay.
So Wizards Unite, Portkey Games has done a game in the current time period. or at least recent time period of 2019, which was like 5 years ago. What do you think they're going to do though, Retro? Like, what time period do you think they're going to do?
Man, yeah,
In
I
the
haven't
game?
thought much about that. I mean, I feel like I don't think you want to do Harry's era.
No.
I mean, it'd be great timing with the TV show and everything, but that's just too complicated because then it's like all
You
the
have to
lore
play as Harry.
questions.
Like, you have to play as Harry. If it's Harry's timeline, you have to play as Harry.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go in the past, if you go in the past, I would want them to go way in the past.
Yeah.
Like way in the past, like Founders and like the discovery of magic and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, earlier than Hogwarts Legacy?
Yes, for sure. That's where I'm at. Like, because everybody forgets how many crazy dark wizards were around during that time period too.
Right.
We just talk about the Founders, but there were some crazy dark wizards back then. Crazy. And I think, especially early on, it feels like the wild, wild west, because this is before the ministry is set. This is before a lot of things that happen. Now, if you go pre Ministry of Magic, then if it is an MMO, you kind of lose the professions thing, and you don't have like the difference with the different jobs you can have at the ministry or professors and stuff like that. So you kind of lose that if you go too far back. So I think that's like
that's the thing. Like, you got to be somewhat developed. As a society.
For sure. So I want that era, honestly. In my
I was gonna say, you want the past.
I do want to. I do want to, but do I want it forever?
Well, I mean, that's
what in terms of like,
right? Because you hope this is a game that's around for many, many, many years.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
You gotta go present day then. Like, I don't see how you do anything else.
And have some flashbacks and travel backs to the past.
And if you go present day, the benefit of present day is at least you can play around with the different governments across the world.
Oh my
goodness. There you go.
The Ministry of Magic.
The careers, if they go that route, like you can.
And you can still be a teacher, like a professor, and prioritize your skills based off of your job. So Magic Zoo, maybe you bring Beast into battle instead of just your wand and stuff. Potions Master obviously is specialized in potions doing damage, but also could be a healer type person and stuff like that. And so like there's a lot of ways you can go, especially with Aura, just be a glass cannon type character and stuff. So man,
that's gonna be so interesting.
Current day makes a lot
to see how they do it, because I'm just because you pulled that up about the Bungie guy. Now I'm just thinking so much about how Destiny was.
I would love
is kind of set up as it's like you pick between 3 classes,
and
you all kind of have some of the same basic functionality, but then you have special things that only your class can do.
Yeah,
and so like when you're doing these certain cooperative missions, it's like, oh man, guys, we're going to need at least 1 person on this and 2 people on this.
And it's a given here. There's 4 classes. There are 4 houses.
That could be so cool. I mean, that's my biggest hope is like, I just envision a day where the 3 of us are partying up.
Which,
I mean, we talked about like, and it just, Magic Awaken, like kind of scratched that itch a little bit. And then there's a little bit with
briefly
champions, but it's like, but it's like, we need that console third person where we're just like the Monster Hunter style, the Destiny, the Diablo, all these games where people just love grouping up. I mean,
but
Harry Potter
cooperation. So like, I don't co-op,
we're doing it as a team.
What's like, for example, well, kind of like Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Yes,
they're doing right now. So there's a switch towards it, and of the more cooperative, not necessarily PvP, but doing stuff together.
So as a person, who played Wizards Unite, that was one of the highlights for me. So the game obviously was location based because Niantic's involvement, creators of Pokemon Go, but the gyms in Pokemon Go, the equivalent in Wizards Unite, were towers, and you would go in a tower and you would fight your way to the highest tower, but you had to be strategic with it. So right here in this image, we have an Aura, you have a Magic Zoo, and Professor. and you had a skill tree based on the profession you chose, and you could switch between the professions. But the Magic Zoo, for example, was the healer. The professor was an all-around type cat, but they had a little bit of healing and they had a little bit of DPS. The aura was just straight DPS. Like, just they were glass cannons. They would do a lot of stuff, but every team, I think you had like 5 in there. Every squad, when you would approach a tower, you had to have a Magic Zoo, or you didn't have anybody healing anybody. And so you would just die and wait for the countdown. And so there were buffs you were able to put on enemies to help a aura take out an enemy faster. You were super effective against certain foes. So auras were super effective against dark wizards and other stuff. Magic Zoos, we were super effective against acromantulas and other beasts. And professors, they were super effective against like pixies and other stuff. And so you had that MMORPG skill tree type element already established in Wizards Unite, which was narratively driven, and current day, which implemented a lot of other ministries, because this whole narrative surrounded the entire wizarding world. You cooperated and talked to other ministries of magic across different nations and stuff. And so if they do go the MMO route, at least from an online multiplayer thing, and I mean, you had 5 people, but you only used 3 professions, so it was always at least 1 Magic Zoo, and then we would do like 2 auras or 3 auras and 1 professor, or 2 auras and 2 professors, but it was always at least 1 Magic Zoo.
Oh my goodness.
So, bro,
you're getting my mind is just racing now.
Yes,
like there's
bro,
so much they can do with this.
So much they could do, and like I said, they've done it before with Wizards Unite.
I will say, I mentioned this in my video when this was announced, but like, of course, it's just words, but like what they're saying in there and how they're in that job description, how they're talking about involving the community and player friendly, how they worded, I can't remember exactly how they worded it, but they were talking about like player friendly monetary monetization. I'm like, okay, you're saying all the right things, at least. Yes, you still have to go out and do it, but they're saying all the right things right now.
Yeah,
which is good.
No, I saw that, and I remember you brought it up too, because it's something with the collaboration. It might have been another job posting, because I see collaborate closely with design products.
They're player friendly. Well, that's interfaces, but there was a lot of stuff about like, you know, different play styles, because Ben was talking about, I don't like competitive stuff.
Yes.
So there you go. Utilizing player feedback and data. Scroll back up just a little. There you go. To improve gameplay experiences. That's one thing right there.
Let me see. Define and document, lead the creation, mentorship, teamship, mentor.
Well, another thing I think is important to remember. I think their plans have changed recently. Because I'm not thinking, because when Haddad was right, he was there, and we kept getting these nonstop. We want to do live service. We want to do live service. We're going live service.
I don't know if that was him though.
You don't?
I don't think that was him.
That full Schreier interview, he says that it was in place long before even Zaslav got there.
Okay.
That whole
David Zaslav. David Zaslav. Well, but he was there for 12 years.
Yeah, Haddad. I'm saying the new.
So Haddad probably was there when they started.
Haddad, sorry, not Zaslav. Haddad.
Yeah, but I'm saying the push for the narrative stuff, because I was even listening to Luke Stevens and Joy Raptor, and they were breaking down this, and they were saying Haddad was more along the lines of the single player stuff than Zach and the new CEO. I'm just going off of them.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Go ahead. No, I was saying because they're seeing also the feedback as well. They gotta see at least something of people reacting to those things, and they gotta look at what products they've put out there, what's working and what's not working, and the goals they want to achieve. Right. And so it looks like right now they're not just creating new titles; they kind of want to create an ecosystem where it taps into the different audiences. For sure. And that's the smartest thing to do.
It's franchising it. You're franchising Hogwarts Legacy, essentially.
Exactly. Not just the Hogwarts Legacy, but the AP itself, making it a gaming thing. Because that's what I was saying.
Going to be part of it.
it's hard to make a Swiss Army game that satisfies multiplayer, single players
for sure
in a very big way. It's possible.
For sure.
But not, and so it's like the multiple games also, it could refer to more mobile games. Remember they mentioned that once in one of the previous interviews that one of them includes mobile games. So
they're easier to make too.
Easier to make, and not always, as you said, they are bulletproof.
Yeah.
And I mean, this game, it's not going to be for every Potter fan, and that's okay,
that is fine.
That's part of the benefit of them keeping what we assume to be 2 teams and your Hogwarts Legacy core team working on, we're guessing, the single player stuff, and then you have the other team working on this. So,
and that's a good way to go. Yeah,
especially with this, we see the most passionate fans. They're the ones hanging out in the chat right now, the ones commenting. And they want to be a part of everything. But at the same time, it's okay if you're just like, you know what, this is not my thing. I mean, like, we saw it with Quidditch Champions. We've seen it with Hogwarts Mystery. We've seen it with Magic Awaken.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be for everybody. But I do think it has the potential to tap into a new audience that didn't even vibe with Hogwarts Legacy, but is like, I want to get immersed in a game where I'm just like, I mean, dude, I don't know if this is a good thing, but people treated Destiny like a job. Diablo, they treat it like a job. Like where I got to log in, I got to do my daily missions.
World of Warcraft,
all these little quests.
Right. Yeah. If there's that factor to it,
yeah. So there's gonna be people that want that, and we'll see how it plays out.
But which is a good transition before we wrap up. Like, based off of all of that, what does this game, the online multiplayer RPG, what does this game need, I guess, essentially, for it to succeed? And one point I wanted to bring up, 2 people had DM'd me and asked me if I had got anything in regards to like a survey, but they sent me a screenshot of a survey concerning online beta testing and stuff like that, but they asked about their habits on the survey in regards to what do you like about multiplayer games? Do you like the playing with others? Do you prefer to play by yourself? Do you like the challenges of it, or do you prefer to play casually? Like, they were just breaking down all of these questions, and this is coming from WB, and I got it a week after the initial announcement. And so going back to what Retro was saying in regards to understanding the player base, it looks like, since they're still hiring for this game in the first place, it looks like they're trying to cater to people who are already established within WB and trying to see the habits, at least when it comes to this online multiplayer RPG, what they look for. They said they had pictures of other games. They even mentioned Marvel Rivals and other stuff. Did you like this? Did you like that? Destiny was mentioned. What did you like about Destiny? Did you like the UI where you can walk around in these certain casual base before you guys engaged into the stuff? Like, they were asking all these questions. So I was like, I'm going to be looking for an email to see if
it was WB survey.
It was a WB survey. Yep, it was a WB. I'll send you guys a picture of it.
But I mean, it's good that they're doing it, because I have a friend, and we should actually talk about that more. But briefly, we'll just mention, like, our play sessions are very different. Our needs in games are very different, because he's a multiplayer guy. I'm a single player guy. And the way he talks about it, like, sometimes he can be done in just 20 minutes, right? He just gets that rush of having tough competition, and he's done for the day. With me, I need to sit down for like an hour or two to go complete a quest, get immersed, etc. So it's different. And what I need in a game, besides that factor and besides the challenge, like, it's different. And I want to know more of that. And so it's interesting, because, like, before I wasn't really thinking about that, but, like, we are different
in the way we play.
People. Yeah, the way we play.
Yep. So that being said, what do you think this game needs to succeed, Ben? Starting with
wow.
It's a big question.
It's a big question for non-multiplayer person, but I'll say that, I don't know, do multiplayer people care about story? I don't know. because a lot of multiplayer games don't even care about that. Quidditch Champions doesn't have story.
That's a good question.
So there's some storytelling, there's some concept or whatnot, but
elements for sure.
You know, so I don't know what would make it that good. So if I were, for me, for example, that's the only I can say.
Yeah.
A multiplayer game that I would like to see is some kind of almost like an MMO, kind of like Oblivion or something like. No, not Oblivion. What's Morrowind?
Yeah. Oblivion. Yeah, Oblivion, Morrowind.
So where you have your character, you can have you can have co-op where you can build your character, you can explore together, you can go on quests, missions, etc. Something like that. But that's how I imagine.
Yeah.
It could be, but since I'm not that much, I don't know. But at the same time, different thing. Probably they're not gonna do this. But games like It Takes Two, Split Fiction, stuff like that, where it requires another player.
Yeah.
And it's very story driven. Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they would go for.
I think they would have at least 3
that way.
people. I think they would have at least 3 people for sure.
But at the same time, it's still fun sometimes. Like I play with my brother Call of Duty. We play zombies. We play multiplayer a little bit, mostly private matches.
Yeah.
But I still like that stuff. I would love to see that in a Wizarding World scenario, but maybe not necessarily super PvP challenges and stuff like that.
Nothing too sweaty.
There you
what about you, Retro?
Okay, I've had some time to think as Ben was talking there.
Okay.
And I go back to Destiny a lot because it's the first multiplayer game that's ever really hooked me. And like it's kind of in between like an MMO and an RPG, somewhere in there. So that's why I use it as reference. Like before that, I only really played Call of Duty. But the one thing that Destiny had that even the biggest critics would admit, even from the very beginning, is like the core gameplay. It just felt so good to run around and shoot your gun. Like it sounds so basic.
Right.
And this is what I said before Hogwarts Legacy came out. It's like the core, just running around and firing off spells, that has to feel good.
Yes.
So that's number one. Like just the day-to-day, the feel of the game has to be great. Like it has to be fun to play. Then you build all this other stuff around it. So what was so cool about Destiny, and hearing you talk there, Ben, like, is Destiny really it had like something for everybody. Like you could play it totally solo. There were times when I would just play it by myself and I just need to grind for some type of gear or get a couple of items. Then other days there were these missions they were like weekly missions, and you could run with 3 other players. You could party with a team, or you could just let it matchmake and put you in there with them. You could chat or you could not chat. Then they had these big things called raids, which were 6-team things where you had to communicate. They didn't even have in-game matchmaking for it when they first started. So just like that sense of accomplishment of like working with someone else and like all of you just getting it right. It took many hours. But like, so the core gameplay has to be good. The other big thing about Destiny was the rewards. Like the thing that all these games have in common, Diablo, World of Warcraft, you have to have something worth grinding for. Like something worth like, I'm going to play. I got to get on tonight because there's like, and it can't just be like, I personally don't think like cosmetics, they're cool, but I need something that's going to affect my gameplay. And that, like, I think when Destiny started getting away from this a little bit, but it was heavy RNG in the beginning. But I'm telling you, man, there were so many weapons that you were just like, oh my God, I have to get that. I will grind until I do.
Should I play Destiny now?
I have no idea what it's like nowadays. I stopped playing years ago, but I know they're still like supporting it and everything. But
it's still the same title, but different.
Destiny 2 now. I think it's free to play now too. So if you wanted to hop in and try it, you could.
It might not be a good. It might be a good idea since the game director for this game came from working on Destiny. It might not be a bad idea.
I feel like Monster Hunter might be. Well, you like space too, but have you ever? Monster Hunter's a more new.
Monster Hunter. Oh yeah.
Same vibes.
It's online. Wait, Monster Hunter is online.
Oh yeah.
Because I tried one of them. And what I don't remember if it was before.
You team up with other monster
take
hunters
down
with
like massive creatures.
Yeah, it's just like raids in WoW. It's the same
see.
thing. It's the same thing.
Okay.
For sure. Retro, I think you hit it right on the head, because what Destiny did so well was it didn't force you to play like with others. You were able to play by yourself, even though the emphasis was online and playing with other stuff, and you get better rewards when you would do those weekly raids and stuff like that. But like, my thing is, it has to find a way to react or appeal to everybody. And like the saying goes, like, if you try to be everything, you become nothing.
Right.
Because you're not.
If they have to, that's the
you
thing.
You don't have an identity. So like, I think, even saying this as a Potterhead, I think they have to lean more towards the gameplay elements and the gamers more so than the Potterheads.
Yeah, I mean, it makes. I totally agree. I think I was sorry. Continue. Yeah.
No. Like, it's because I think for the Potterheads, you can have Hogwarts Legacy, but I think for this to succeed, this online multiplayer RPG, I think you have to tap into that group who still misses Destiny when it was at its prime, who still enjoy Helldivers, who still enjoy these type of online multiplayer type games, but with a Wizarding World element that really hasn't really been seen outside of like WoW and some of these other ones. Like, you could go a whole nother dimension. Retro, you're talking about like, I'm grinding to get this gun. Are we grinding to get this ultimate spell? Fire tornado,
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Are we grinding to get the water orb? Like, what is that element now in the Wizarding World? Like, you get a book and now you've learned this spell that you can now apply and be OP. And same and then you can go into professions as a Magazoo. Maybe now, like, if you can grind, you can tame a dragon and bring a dragon to a raid or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, in professors, on so forth and so on. And so I just think, if they're able to tap into the gamers who are into that stuff and bring the Wizarding World elements, like the different spells, the different beasts, heck, the different species. Maybe you can be a troll, maybe you can be a goblin, maybe you can be a vampire. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just from a different zone, Japan or whatever wizarding school. And I just think if they're able to introduce those elements that are really appealing to a lot of people who are into this world, while also being friendly to people who haven't tried it at all, and maybe be an entryway for this type of game, I think that's where the sweet spot is. But I think you have to focus on the gamers more so than the Potterheads for me, for it to be a success. That's what I think. And I'm a Potterhead.
But I totally agree about like the core gameplay, because I think bottom line is, multiplayer or single player, regardless, people play certain games because the gameplay is for the gameplay purely. It's just like, the story also is important, and it comes in a combination with it and stuff like that. But it's just like, it should be a fun game, like fun concept of the combat, who you're fighting with, in what context and which place, what are you exactly doing, what is your goals, and it's like that balance. And maybe it's not even about fighting. Maybe it's all about kind of like Minecraft, but in the Wizarding World, where like you have endless possibilities of what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, think about like the end of, my son just finished reading Order of the Phoenix. Like, think about all the rooms that they have to go through. They're almost like little trials on their own.
Yeah.
And even in the book 1, so it's like, it does. Yeah. As you said, it doesn't have to be combat. Like, there's other little puzzle elements and mysteries to solve.
Exactly.
That you could do as a group.
Yeah. Exactly. It doesn't have to be that battle royale thing you constantly battle, which is fun. It can be a part of it. Yeah. But I think the Wizarding World is about, like I kept saying this, it's about finding this something unique about Wizarding World and trying to make it a thing, so not other game will have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. And I think that's going to be like very important, but it's going to be difficult to see the response from the Potterheads because Hogwarts Legacy was such an easy pickup for anybody. I mean, gamer or, Potterhead alike who might not be, I mean, everybody's a gamer, but, who might not be into games as much as they are into reading. So Hogwarts Legacy, I think, was like that perfect mix for everybody. And I think this has to be a niche. I think this has to be a niche for it to succeed. And then hopefully by word of mouth and popularity, you're able to bring in some of the other people or casuals who might not be, as comfortable in this style of game as others who prefer it, because you still want to get that crowd. You still want to market to that crowd, even though they might not prefer that style of gameplay. So it's going to be tough, but like, because that was my fear with the MMO thing. I was just like, I want it, but I feel like it's not going to sell. Like straight up, I feel like it's not going to sell. But at the same time, it's a lot of people want to play together, and I think that could be like a good beginning moving forward. So we'll see.
Yep.
That being said, I'm not gonna hold you guys up too long. I think I had a couple of rapid fire questions while I'm looking for that. Chat, sound off questions you have for Retro, Ben, or me real quick before we get out of here. And again, thank you guys for hanging out. Again, a month or two in the making, but we finally were able to link up and come here together.
That's true.
For sure and stuff. All right, let me see.
I actually played Quidditch Champions recently. I'm like, I want to kind of play together again.
I know.
Because I missed it. And it's like, I love
I think it's
Quidditch
still
Champions.
a fun game.
It's a lot of fun. I love it. It's not like it's a bad game. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But they're just, I will play it a lot of it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to move on with my life and other things. And then come back to it.
I got my itch. Yeah, agreed. All right, let me see. I got a couple of questions over here. See if I can read. Okay, first one's from Steph. For all of you, what is the one most important feature WB could implement to turn the hand basket headed?
What?
What?
Oh, no.
Hand basket.
Huh? Okay. Stephanie's talking ill of WB, so she has names of them. But what's a feature you think could turn WB around that they need to implement?
Oh, geez.
What do you mean?
Company?
Yeah, WB Games. We're really not worried about the rest of it on the channel.
It's rapid fire, so I'm just gonna say let Avalanche cook.
Well said. Yes.
And don't forget about Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah.
Just don't forget about them.
Too. Yeah. I agree. Hashtag let Avalanche cook. I think that's a big one. Trust the people.
Trust them. Just
trust the people. Exactly. Exactly. Trust the people you have employed under you. You're specialized in this field. If you're higher up, they specialize in this field. Listen to them and let it be a collaborative effort. So I'll go there. But yeah, hashtag let Avalanche cook. All right. High IQ Warrior says, here's a question. What existing gameplay elements need to be tweaked /changed /redone for the sequel? Also, I would like to see you guys brainstorm speculating on the tie-in to the TV show plot.
Oh my God. That's another 2-hour stream.
Yeah, that's not a rapid fire.
That is not rapid fire.
First part is rapid fire.
Don't get us started. Don't get us started.
I can smell my dinner.
I know. I got dinner souls waiting for me. Quickly, Ben, something from the first game you would like to see tweaked, fixed, or changed.
That's not also rapid fire. Come on, get out.
We're going into the sequel.
I'll say rewards /loot.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
What's yours, Ben?
What's yours, Ben?
No, I will have a 5-hour answer to that. No. I don't know.
Just a story. That's another one we said.
That's mine. That's mine.
Yeah, expansion of story. Ability. Well, that's addition, but it's about fixing something.
Fixing the story is fixing the story is fixing the gravitas and weight that the story demands with a character who has the ability to use ancient magic that nobody has seen in hundreds of years. That needs to be heavier. That's why Sebastian was so popular. Our ability to do what we're able to do and the choices we make and this responsibility that we have to carry the secret needs to be very heavy moving into the sequel. That's me.
I will say also, just have the ability to talk to anyone and have a prolonged conversations about stuff.
Because we didn't even say choices.
Well, choices. Yeah, I like the choices.
That
I like the ability, which is.
Yeah.
I hate it because at the same time I don't know which one should I do, but unless it's just do evil choices, then easy. Yeah. But yeah, have it because that's what I like about Zelda. They don't even speak; they make noises. But you have
can at least talk. Yeah. The dialogue.
So that I would change that because it just adds so much of dimension to everybody. And every location.
Yeah. Agreed. Let me see. Let me see. I'll be interested in the game at the very least. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we go. Damien, do you think Hogwarts Legacy 2 needs to keep the same characters, Natty, Poppy, etc., the ancient magic, or a different storyline? You have to maintain the storyline. You have to. That's a no-brainer for me.
I say yes, maintain the storyline, but you can expand. Like the theme of the ancient magic can stay, but it has to evolve into something else. I did a video about this where it's like, I don't know, like it has to evolve. And I think I think I know what's going to happen. Because logically speaking, because I think they set up good stuff with the sequel and, it can go in an interesting realm. Where we can see the birth of a villain, but it's a person we care about.
Okay. Retro, anything?
Needs to, I say no. I think they could tell a completely different story, but I hope that it does include.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm not mad at that.
Well, what do you mean by a different story?
Well, like the question was, do they need to keep the same characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
For storyline.
I mean,
keep it.
I think they could jump to a different time if they wanted to, and Avalanche could tell a good story and still call it Hogwarts Legacy. But I hope they.
Right. Because I feel like that's the gold part about it, because not being linked to that timeline, because you're so free to do whatever, and there's so many things you can explore, invent, even that it's easier to do that than trying then to tie it back.
No, they need to continue the story.
But now they need to.
The story was not about us. The story was not about us. Yes, we can be the character, stuff like that, but it wasn't about us. They need to continue it so the story is about us. That's my answer.
Make it about us.
Yeah, make it about us. Next question: should Hogwarts Legacy feature Hogwarts areas or feature different Wizarding World schools? So more Hogwarts areas or different Wizarding World schools in the sequel?
Both? Can we say that?
No, you have to pick one.
Oh my God! I think
more areas. You can't go to other schools. You can't go.
You
can't go to other schools.
Not yet.
That one always gets suggested.
That's going to be for the third one. That's going to be for the third game.
It's so hard. Yes, it would have to be within the game already established, like Hogwarts Legacy. Like you can't have a separate game.
It would have to be like a mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where
Like
you
with
go to
Azkaban.
school.
Yeah, like with Azkaban, exactly.
With only Hufflepuffs in there.
Exactly.
Only Hufflepuffs go to
Can
United
you
States.
imagine? Can
Only.
you imagine? People will be so pissed. Oh
Like,
my god.
People will sue.
Do you think we'll see a young Dumbledore McGonagall in the sequel?
No, Dumbledore, yes. McGonagall, how old is she?
No, there's no way in McGonagall. They're not even close in age yet.
Not even Dumbledore. Voldemort.
No,
depends on how old McGonagall is, because J.K.
God.
Rowling even retconned that one.
True.
With
That's
Fantastic Beasts.
True. Oh, I forgot. I try not to think about that. If they skip 2 years, we can see Dumbledore.
They don't.
He can't unless we see him walking around like in Godric's Hollow or something. Because I think by that time he's at Godric's Hollow. But unless we see him like around there, he can't be at the school. He's not at the school until 1892.
But they kind of erase the fact of which year we're in. Yeah. So the only year that so we are technically, according to the State of Play trailer, we are in 1990.
At 1890s, yeah, it's not
1890.
And they took it out.
Then they took it out. Then they took
it out to make it more flexible. So,
but they said Monday. But the paper said Monday, September 1st, which was in 1890, a Monday. September 1st was on a Monday in 1890.
Oh yeah, I do remember somebody figuring that out.
They didn't go that far to fix it or thinking about that probably.
Yeah. I don't think they went too far into thinking.
I honestly think they did it because they don't want to have to deal with Dumbledore.
Or they didn't want to, but now since they need to tie the stories back to the TV series. Now that's the question to me. How are you going to do that? Because another 5-hour conversation, but it's like what? Hey, that's where I'm torn. Flashbacks, but like, is it enough just having young Dumbledore? Like to me, that would be enough. I feel like because like just having the name, who is in there.
Don't worry, chat. Then in retro,
the way we started it, we're talking and you just push in.
Don't worry, chat. They promise they'll be back and stuff. So don't worry.
we'll be back.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna make sure to have Ben and Retro's information in the link below. Where can people follow you, Ben? Quickly, where can they follow you?
I'm Ben Snow on social media, Twitter, Instagram, the Blue Sky. I'm there, guys. Get on there fast. And Benjamin Snow on YouTube as well.
Retro
at Retro Raconteur everywhere. That's enough for me.
R2 plays as well. Go check
Retro
it out.
R2, yeah.
Retro R2. Yeah. And you guys know us. This is XpectoGO, exclamation point Discord socials. You'll see all of that stuff.
Ben always has his wand at the end. Let me grab my
magic
wand.
Oh yeah, I have that one too. Hold on. Well, it's gonna take 5 years, but it's okay.
I'm just gonna grab one of the first ones.
I love how we all had one nearby.
I know. Oh, come on.
I have 2 nearby.
Come on. I got like 8 on this wall over here.
We're nerds.
Yes.
Like guys in the chat, we're kids. We're legitimate kids.
RIP to our Ravenclaw, companion that never happened. Ravenclaw mascot wand. And he got the Ancient Magic Wand for Collector's Edition Retro.
Nice.
But anyway, we're going to get out of here. I guess we'll use the spell Nox or whatever. But you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Obliviate. We said nothing.
We'll see you. Let me see if I can find the NC. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'll just end the stream. Nox.
Bye.
All right.